The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, where tonight, if you don't like the show or the topic, that's on you because you are in some way deficient, is what I would say if I was a narcissistic cultural vandal with zero talent and too lazy to put out anything but hack remakes infused with gender-bending race swaps and neo-Marxist talking points. But I'm not. Well, maybe lazy with zero talent, but none of those other things. So seriously, I hope you enjoy what I hope will be an insightful and cathartic commiseration on a topic we are all too familiar with. Top off your glasses, tell me what you're sipping on in the chat, and we'll roll out this Canarble Wagon right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Salud, welcome. Thanks so much for being here. I am drinking a whiskey, although it's not specifically this one, but I do like this sound.
Quality is our legacy. Handcrafted, barrel aged. Go ahead, you deserve it. Glen Gooley, for the best of times.
So, yeah, this is actually a blackberry whiskey. It smells wonderful. And you know how these flavored whiskeys are, if you get a little bit on the bottle, they get sticky. That's how you know how sweet they are. So it is a bit sweet. So, even though it's a double shot glass, I am kind of sipping tonight. Can't drink it fast. I'll get sick, not from the alcohol, but from the sweetness. But it's warm going down. I like it. It's good. Welcome everybody. I'm so glad you all are here tonight. Yeah, and I was joking with Netter because I had her taste, and she's like, yeah, it tastes good, but it's the fumes. I'm like, yeah, that's whiskey. That's the good stuff. And then I took a sip of it, and I'm like, tastes like cough medicine. But that's because whiskey, is for medicinal purposes. Not that this is medical advice. There is no medical advice. I am not a doctor here. I'm just making a joke. I apparently have to say this on this particular platform. You're not a doctor in real life, but you play one. I play one in the steampunks. Yes. Exactly right. So anyway. Let us say hi to all the wonderful you people here that were here so early. I feel like there was earlier comments. I'm not sure. I'm going to start with what I'm seeing. Starting with Curtis Selby. Bah! I mean, hi. Last Call with Troy Pacelli. Well, bah! Hi to you too, my friend. Good to see you. I did see that Curtis has up a stream in... Now it's probably something like 15 hours or something like that. Saturday morning cartoons. I was just talking about that recently, saying I'd love to see somebody doing that. Saturday morning cartoon stream. So it looks like Curtis has picked it up and run with it. Lady Mist. So encouraging. Thank you so much for being here, my dear. As well as Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube. Welcome. Super appreciate you guys here supporting me the way you do. Hello, my friends from Big Al Presents. Hoping all is well and that you have a great show tonight. Yes, thank you so much. Looking forward to we're going to be watching on your channel tomorrow night one of my favorite musical horror comedies. Little Shop of Horrors. I love that one. I really do. Tim, FKHC 2005. Hail. Welcome, my friend. Super appreciate you. Let's see here. Last call with Troy Pacelli. This guy's got a drinking problem. Nah, he drinks, he gets drunk, he falls down, no problem. Yeah, and everybody's talking about Reagan in the chat. I definitely want to see that movie. It's got some great viewer reviews. Who gives a crap what the critics say? You see what their bias is. We'll talk about these talking heads and their biases tonight. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies. We had a wonderful sit down with him over on Netter's channel last night. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you are subscribed to Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies, as well as everybody that you see here in the chat. Even if they're not putting out content, this is social media. Let's all stay connected because we are a wonderful, growing community here. And that's because of all of you. One of the newest among us, welcome Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf. Ow! So good to see you. So glad you are here. This is the second stream in a row where I get a little bit spicy, a little bit political. I don't want you to think that's the general rule around here, Charlotte. It's really not. It's just that I've gone so long not talking about certain things I've wanted to talk about. I just wanted to get them out there. And you know how it is. You're sitting with your friends around a pub, getting a little silly, drinking some drinks. You start talking about some stuff. Don't have to agree with me. That's perfectly fine. Just so long as you listen, you share. I will listen to you if you disagree with me. That's part of the fun of a conversation, a discussion, a debate, if you will. It's kind of how our nation was founded. A bunch of guys sitting around a pub talking politics. And of course, I don't know where the salute is. There it is. It's the very next one. Deleted scenes. Salute, my friend. Welcome. So glad you are here. Let's see. Y'all saying hi to each other, which I love to see. Darth Plato says, "Hey gang, you know what? I love seeing that Batgirl icon of yours. That's pretty darn awesome." And she was absolutely my favorite Batgirl, even more so than definitely more so than what's her name? Alicia Silverstone. She was Batgirl in name only. She was Barbara Pennyworth. That's not Batgirl. That's not Batgirl. Let's see here. Who else have we got? Bear with me because I don't want to miss no one. And of course, JPRPH1 channel member dropping his member emojis. Thank you so much. By all means, make sure you shout at me if I miss you. I don't want to miss a single person. Let loose the Kraken and suffer the fate all who imbibe. Yeah, exactly. Not Kraken tonight. Actually, I do have to replace my handle of Kraken. It was getting low last night, which is, well, partly why I'm not drinking it tonight. The other reason is because I don't have any colas, in the fridge getting cold. So I figured I would drink something that I didn't mind drinking a little bit warm. This whiskey's kind of warming me up a bit.
Tell them about the tabs.
So regular channel members that go back with me a ways know that I used to really enjoy Tab, the diet cola with Kraken rum. I thought they were a good connection. They went well together. Well, when they stopped making Tab, they took it off the market. We went to our local grocery stores, actually all the local grocery stores around us, and bought up all the Tab that they had.
Yeah, we ended up with about 12 cases total.
Mm-hmm. Come to find out that soda, while soda itself doesn't really have a shelf life, it'll keep. It doesn't go bad. It's not milk or anything. The cans do. Yeah, see, those, especially diet sodas, are high in acidity. So in order for the cans to, not the aluminum to not get eaten away by that acid, they put a plastic coating in. Well, sometimes that plastic fails. And we had a lot of cans fail. We would go and find, a brown stain behind the bar that needed to be cleaned up. And we'd go and take the cans out. We'd find the boxes were all like soggy with soda. And some of the cans were completely empty. They were still intact. Yeah. So here's one of them. See, you can kind of tell it's real light. It's empty. Nothing in it.
Show the front where it's not open.
But it's not open. I actually don't know where the soda came out. There's got to be a broken seal. And it's not, I could crush this like an open can. It's not pressurized. So I don't know where the soda came out of it, but we had a number of cans like that. So, and I also noticed the last time I had a Kraken and Tab, didn't taste right. And I said, you know what?
The thing is, that happened with this one too.
Yeah, it happened with a Diet Dr. Pepper too. This is another sealed can, but it's empty. So we just got rid of them. We put them out.
Well, no, the tabs we threw out.
We did throw out the tabs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. What we threw out, or what we put out for people to take, I had a bunch. I don't drink regular sugared sodas. We had Mountain Dew and Mountain Dew Throwback.
Yeah. RC Cola Throwback. And
no, it was Pepsi.
No, it was RC.
Was it RC?
It was RC.
Okay.
Remember, I'm the one who had to pack this crap up. And Diet Seagram's Ginger Ale.
Mm-hmm. We said, let's just get rid of it. We put it out. The school kids came and they took it.
What was funny is I had 2 boxes, one on top of the other. And there's a free sign on there. And I'd see like the school kids go by. And I also had in there a 2-liter of regular Dr. Pepper. That was the first to go. And that was before I even went to my home office that morning. It was gone. So some kid at like 6 a.m. or something grabbed it on his way to school. But it's like, I went out at one point to discover that some of the kids had gone by, moved the top box, took some cans from the box underneath, and then put the other box back. It's like, why?
Kids going to school are not going to take a whole box of sodas.
Right, but the top box and the bottom box contained the exact same things.
They were looking to see what there was.
But they were only taking from the bottom box, like they were being sneaky or something.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Welcome, my friend. Very, very good to see you. Thank you for being here. Release the vodka. No, wait. Yeah. I do have plenty of vodka. I've got wonderful different flavors of vodka. And there's the lovely and talented Netter of Netters Network. Let's get her in here and find out. Even though she's been, here chatting with us the whole time.
I'm a disembodied voice person.
Just a disembodied voice person. How you doing, my dear? And what you sipping on?
It's Friday, so I'm doing so much better. Because it's the end of the week, and I am sipping on cran grape juice.
There you go. Having some juice. Janice Zeal, welcome, my friend. Troy et al. I will be there in a bit. I'm setting up things on the Linux end, and I actually worked for a change, believe me or don't. Yeah, there you go. Fair enough, my friend. Thanks for being here. Oh, and there's the Age of Boomer. Let's get him in here, my friend. How you doing, my friend? And what are you sipping on?
I have a Coca-Cola Classic. I'm doing pretty good tonight, though, frankly. I was actually doing well up until the you sent me that last batches of stuff on Twitter or X. What's going on? It's nuts.
Oh, those were all just because I figured if I had them in there, I could bring them up for tonight's.
Yeah, I have one of them in my presentation. I added it, but
okay.
I have a fortune cookie too. Would you like me to open it up?
Yes, I would.
Yes.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah, so we ended up having to try a new Chinese place because
we were talking about that last week.
Yeah, it's like our Chinese place closed down, no warning or anything. They didn't have any signs up that said, they're selling the business or under new management or anything like that, they completely changed. It's now a completely
it's a chicken place.
restaurant.
Yeah.
Maybe they have good chicken.
Oh no, not like American chicken. I got the impression it was like Asian chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but we found a new place that's a little closer to us that would actually deliver to us, which is nice.
But their beef fried rice sucks.
I want to hear what. Yeah, it was.
Whatever you want to do, do it. There are only so many tomorrows. Yikes. That's what you say. We're not guaranteed another day, right? You always say that.
That is always true. Even if you live to be 100, there's still a finite number of days. Make the most of them, which I hope is exactly what we're all doing here. Matanui, he says hi. Welcome, Matanui. Always good to see you, my friend. You guys are all talking to each other. I love to see that. You guys are a wonderful community. JPRPH1, I'm not sure that I said hi to you earlier, but welcome, John. Good to see you. And Nate, welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Have I missed somebody? I feel like I missed somebody.
I don't know, but someone saw about Oktoberfest, and that makes me want a bratwurst.
Yeah.
Did you say Geek Flag?
I did say hi to Nate.
Did you say, shoot, who's the last person I said hello to?
Charlotte says, I don't mind. I agree with all views here. As you already know, I'm an independent, conservative leaning person. Yeah, be patient with me. There is no such thing as being truly unbiased. And we all, what's that song from Avenue Q? That they say everyone's a little bit racist sometimes. I think everybody has a bias, right?
Sure.
And so, and especially, in fact, Boomer and I have talked about this behind the scenes simply because, and she's over there singing the whole song now. Yeah, well, let me get another Avenue Q one into your.
I have a growing bias.
The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn.
It's bad enough I've got you singing the Wi-Fi song wrong.
And the Wi-Fi's on repeat all through the night.
But the way you sing it where it's wrong.
I like to make up lyrics. I like to get the...
No, you have the lyrics right. It's your cadence that's
wrong. I know. Sometimes I'll sing it instead of as a 70s kind of waka waka waka. I sometimes like to do it as a jazz tune. I sometimes like to do it, and
then the wrong way gets stuck in my head, and I don't like that.
People, pray for her. She's got to be married to me. This is what she's got to live with. Buy her a drink. She deserves it. But so what I was getting at, Charlotte, is I know that you're from the left coast, and I'm like, oh, and you're a Twin Peaks fan. So you kind of, if I'm going to pigeonhole people thinking, oh gosh, oh boy, so Twin Peaks fan living on the West Coast, or I assume lefty liberal, right? Which is unfair. But because of the nature of the Discord these days, I do want to be sensitive. I don't want to go out of my way to, poke at people and, people that I wouldn't necessarily agree with. I happen to be a nice, friendly kind of guy by my very nature. And I do have friends that are what you would consider to be classically liberal. Yeah, no, I've been completely unable to be friends with true leftists. The commies, I just can't get along with, period. But I try. And I always give people the opportunity. Okay, convince me. Why do you believe what you believe? So-and-so is a horrible person and a racist and a this and that. Really? What has he said that's racist? No. Not what you've heard. Not what, some talking head said on the interwebs. What did he actually do or say that you consider to be racist? that's how you end up red pilling people. People start having to think for themselves. You know, that's deprogramming. You know, but thank you, Charlotte, for being patient with me on that particular thing. You are really, really awesome.
I was looking through my Word documents, looking for tonight's notes, and I saw my first assignment for school. I labeled ASS number 1, which is ass number 1.
All righty then.
I'm just
because you're an ass man, right?
You know, that sucks. Did you ever see
that
the
old
episode?
Seinfeld joke? Yeah,
remember that? And
ass man.
His proctologist had that.
Yep,
that license plate. Ass man.
I mean, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Welcome, Evelyn. I hope you are feeling better soon. I know you've had your struggles. I appreciate you stopping in to say hi to us. Don't know how long you can hang out with us, but I super appreciate you being here. You are a true warrior woman. You really, really are. Let me see. PJ of Orville Nation. Together we grow. And I'll tell you, my channel would not be what it is today if it hadn't been for the advice that I've gotten from PJ. Super appreciate you being here, my friend. You are good people. He is drinking an H2O right now. That's perfectly fine. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I clicked on PJ, but it's Charlotte. Absolutely cool. But be careful with that tap water. They put stuff in that tap water. If at all possible, you know, the purer the water, the better. Just, you know, just a thought if that's why you're drinking water, if you're concerned about healthiness. Thought of you earlier today, spent 3 hours with the man who shot Luke Skywalker. He photographed all the original Star Wars toys and up to the Phantom Menace. That is very interesting. I'd love to hear more about that, David.
Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a prequel hater. I like the prequels just fine. Oh, see, she likes the Y-Files too. Yes. No, I'm not in their Discord. And I don't know why, because they keep talking about it. I probably should. I'll look into it.
One thing I have to say is, Kapla, Admiral.
Kapla. See. I mean, we. Those of you that get the reference. Yeah, no, I'll look into it, Charlotte. Yeah, obviously you know Discord better than I do. In fact, you have inspired me to start using our Discord a little bit more. Definitely have to do that. Links in the description below for the Last Call Discord. You and everyone are very lovely, Troy. I almost got ended by someone if they let my political view go out. So far, I've been keeping my political view very away, though. Yeah, no. Yeah, I look, I get people feeling like they can't, you know, people literally feeling unsafe, and it's not the ones who claim to feel unsafe. Oh, I feel safe. I feel unsafe. I feel persecuted. Blah 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 blah. No, the ones that really are, you know, being persecuted. You know, Gina warned us, and then they proved her right over and over and over again. So,
looking forward to hearing the details on that trial.
You saw, did you see that in the past week that the court upheld the decision not to let no summary judgment? They said, yeah, no, this is going to court.
Yeah, we think, yeah. I think I heard that. Yeah.
Troy, I disagree. I have never been on the side of the liberal or conservative. I comfortably dwell on the side of common sense, and I shall always live here. Well, see, here's the problem with pigeonholing the concept. When you say liberal, when you say conservative, hell, if I say liberal and conservative to you, and I say liberal and conservative to a listener in the UK,
Yeah.
two very different things. You know, we don't have the same definition.
Even within conservative circles, they argue over what it means. Yeah, I've heard
That's
that.
very true. And so here's the other thing that I point out to people. Everyone talks about how we have a two-party system. That is true technically, but if you dig into it, the Democrats aren't united. The Republicans are not united. There are many factions that kind of generally fall, you know, under one or the other. But I think this election is showing us that there's a lot of people saying, you know what? Neither of you. That's why Kennedy was doing as well as he was. That's why the Orange Man has done as well as he is. Yes, he won the Republican primary, but there's a lot of Republicans that don't want to support him. That's because they're statists, right? They're not populists. See, that's another difference. Statist versus populist. And that's on both sides.
That seemed okay.
I would say Trump, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., right? Vivek Ramaswamy, JD Vance. These are all populists from both sides, both Democrat and Republican. Now they, you know, the ones that were on the Democrat side said, no, can't do that anymore. They haven't come out and said, no, I'm going to be Republican now, but they have left the Democratic Party and are supporting Trump, which some would argue is effectively supporting the Republicans. But it's not about party. It's about, what do you really believe? It's about paying attention. And it's not even just listen to what someone says they support. Pay attention to their voting history. What do they really, you know, I can't hear what you say because it's drowned out by your actions, right? And I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to kind of, thanks for the kind thought. Yeah, I do. I anything I can do to help you get better, Evelyn, super want to help you out. I am going to kind of skim here because I do want to say hi to everybody. I mean, we haven't even started the show and we're a half hour in here. Okay, I think I've said hi to everyone who's here, and I'll just bring up the last comment that I saw, which is Civics 101. An alcoholic beverage not required. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Troy has been drinking again. Yeah, that is absolutely true. So I want to start out with, I don't do PJ is here and he is constantly, poking at me, telling me you got to get more standalone videos up. I know, but I work a full-time job, and then YouTube live streaming is almost a full-time job too. When do I have time to film and edit standalone videos? But I have done some. There are some on my channel here. And I want to bring up one from, I want to say from last year, that I think applies. Let me play it real quick for you. I hope I don't get copyright claim from myself.
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
Don't buy my book.
Alrighty then.
2 years later.
The industry has contracted, and we're very worried about comics right now.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Problem solved.
There we go.
I
I'm just refilling my drink.
I like the fact you used Bender, because everybody always used the J. Jonah Jameson clip.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was a little
overdone.
Yeah, but I also like the hard edge on it. Oh, wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder, because that's even funnier to me. Yes. So that was Kelly Sue DeConnick, and she was going off about, her comics and how, you know, people are saying keep your politics out of comics. They have no place, you know, stop it. And she's like, well, if you don't like them, don't read the comics. And people don't. And we see this happening over and over and over. This wasn't made for you. Okay, fine, I'm not going. And then all of a sudden, well, why didn't anyone show up? You told us not to. You said this isn't made for the fans, so the fans stayed away. This isn't made for men, so the men stayed away. The women stayed away because the men stayed away. Seriously, I mean, if there's a movie that I refuse to see and Netter wanted to see it, chances are we're not seeing it until it comes out on some sort of streaming service or something like that. She's not going to the movie on her own to see it, you know? She just isn't.
Yep.
But then again, we actually have a really good marriage. And if I said I refuse to see that movie, she's going to go, well, why? And then I'm going to tell her what it was about it that offended me. And she'll go, yeah, okay, I don't want to support it either. You know? Because imagine that. You know? So anyway. But I know that because you and I were talking about this pretty much all week, Boomer.
Fan blaming. Scapegoating. That's even better term for it, yes.
Yeah, so you know where the term scapegoating comes from?
No.
Now, keep in mind that...
a goat.
Yes. Keep in mind, I am not Jewish. Well, I am Jewish. See, because I'm a Christian,
right.
It's like Jewish.
Because you follow the Old Testament. Okay.
Jewish,
okay.
Right? No, but seriously, I don't, know all the history and tradition, but it is my understanding from what I've read that under the old law, there is this, and I'm sure, and I believe this ties in directly to the crucifixion and so forth. But there was this idea that the rabbi would take and sacrifice. No, not sacrifice. I'm sorry. He would take a goat that would symbolically take on all the sins of the people in the tribe, and then they would send the goat out into the wilderness to die. That was sacrificing the goat, and the goat was the scapegoat. He took on all of your sins and died. And of course, when Christ is referred to as the Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world, right? He is saying, I am here to fulfill what you have been kind of playing out symbolically.
Yes.
I am literally taking on the sins of the world for everyone who has lived, everyone who will live, and I'm being sacrificed. So that is the concept of scapegoating and kind of taking it to the Christian, extent.
Okay.
But and welcome, of course, to Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Good to see you, my friend. Definitely a big supporter on the X, sharing and liking all the streams. Super appreciate all of your support. Your favorite YouTubers are always talking about hit the thumbs up, hit the like, share out the stream. It really, really helps. It really, really does. I didn't realize it till I got into all of this. And Godless Scummer says, ahoy, welcome. It is so good to see you.
Did you say hi to Mark?
I did not see Mark. Are you here?
Yeah, he's on my channel.
Oh, well, but still,
he likes me better.
I don't blame him. You are better than me. I like you. I like you better.
You were
too.
Jewish.
Yeah, I am Jewish. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I could never give up pork. See, that's the problem. I just can't keep the food laws. Sorry, that would mean no bacon.
We're never going to be Jewish. Honey.
Yeah, see, we're pretty much unified on that one.
Oh, yeah, I actually got kind of a funny story about bacon. So the last company I worked for at the very beginning before he sold it, the CEO of the company was Jewish. Well, he invites us all out to lunch. It was like all the account managers. So we all went out to lunch. I ended up sitting next to him. and I ordered a cheeseburger, and I forget what he ordered, but he has something like we were just chatting, and he mentioned something about my burger. I said, actually, no one would make this better. He goes, so what's that? I said, bacon. And he goes, no, it wouldn't. And it wasn't until much later I'm like realizing why he said that, because I just kind of looked at him like, oh, okay, I guess he doesn't like bacon. And so it's like, oh, duh, he's Jewish, he doesn't eat bacon, dumbass.
I don't remember what it was. We went to a Japanese restaurant and I ordered something. And I ordered something else. Two things that kind of didn't go together, but I didn't care. I liked them both and I wanted to eat them. And the server was saying, that is, what did she say? Like, that's a pork dish or something like that. There's pork in it. I'm like, yeah, I know it doesn't go with this, that, and the other, but I don't care. Just bring it. She's like, but there's pork in it. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's fine. And she's like, okay. After she left, Netter says to me, I think she thought we were Jewish. I'm like, oh, well, we're not. Enigma, are you of the Hebrews? I did not know that. But thank you for confirming.
Oh my goodness!
Coffee in the morning, every morning. Hebrews.
My dad had a joke he had a story from when he was in the Air Force. All right. He was sitting with, I guess, one of his fellow servicemen, and he was having, I guess, meat on a Friday during Lent or something. And the guy was like, hey, how can you eat meat? You're Catholic. You can't eat meat on a Friday during Lent. And he's like, well, you get a special dispensation from the Pope in the armed forces or something like that.
Oh.
And then his friend said, what are you eating bacon for? You're Jewish. I said, oh, I got a special dispensation from my rabbi. It's like,
which is, of course, bullshit. They don't do that.
I know.
I seriously started questioning Catholicism and those kinds of Catholic food rules. When I was in the Boy Scouts, we used to have our weekly meetings, and it was Lent. And you'd have your meetings, and then at a certain point there'd be a break to go have snacks, and then it was cupcakes and all this kind of stuff. And
nice.
I just sat, and they always invited a priest to come and say the grace before we go have our snacks. And the priest said, how come you're not and I said, I gave up sweets for Lent. And he goes, oh, well, that's fine. I can give you a special dispensation. And then do Padre Spiritus Sanctus. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And I was like halfway there, and I'm like, this kind of defeats the whole point of the sacrifice, doesn't it?
I'm not touching that.
And
I'm now having a vision of someone.
I don't want to get
having a vision of little Troy nailing something to the front of a church.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far off on a religious tangent here, but I have had my religious journey. Still consider myself a recovering Catholic. Let's put it that way. I still have flashbacks when someone hands me a ruler. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's the great thing about the United States. You can be many different religions, including a religion nobody admits as a religion. They push on everybody else, which we'll be talking about in a minute.
Some friends say I look like I'm Jewish descent because I look like it and have a natural beauty without the makeup. I mean, folks, Gal Gadot, right? Am I right?
No,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I will also say this too, and I've said this many times, and this is going to play into if we ever get to our conversation for the night. The whole thing about actors playing roles that they're not ethnically or whatever, as long as they look the part, right? And I've talked about how many times Jewish people and Greek people have played Italians in films. And it's like, oh, I just assumed that person was Italian. They looked Italian, and they do. A lot of Jewish people look very Italian. A lot of Greek people look very Italian. Let's face it, they come from the Mediterranean, right? Same part of the world. So it kind of makes sense. Well, okay. Israel's maybe a little bit farther south than the Mediterranean, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? I mean, it's the same basic part of the world. Just saying, you know. I mean, and then Enigma said, Masters in Christian Apologetics. I studied apologetics in college myself as a minor. Not that I was a minor. I mean, I was an adult, but I mean a minor, you know, study level. And my certification is Spanish teaching. Georgia requires certification to teach. But I did my master's in apologetics, meaning I created. I know what apologetics are. Give reason for the faith of what you believe. Absolutely true and reasonable, as the Apostle Paul said. My last boss was Italian and called me gabagool. Oh, you ass. Get it? Think about it for a second. That's why my grandmother, whenever we'd have Italian bread, she'd say, "Give me the ghoul of the bread, the ass of the bread, the end of the bread."
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Oh,
you didn't know the ghoul was the ass?
No, I thought that was just an Italian name for the end of the bread.
I'm assuming it's an Italian American slang.
Huh.
I don't think it's old world Italian.
We always call it the end piece in my household, but I guess that's kind of, we've been in the America too long. I guess that's
so Charlotte brings up The Sopranos. Yeah, The Sopranos is where most people picked up a lot of the Italian Americanisms that I grew up with. I've said a number of times on the channel, I'd watch The Sopranos. I'd be like, oh, that's like my Uncle Richard. Oh, he's like my great Uncle Mick. You know, I'd be like, yeah. I know where that comes from. And Godless Scummer says, I'm personally a small atheist YouTube buy. I'm thinking I'm missing something, but I'm assuming you're saying atheist, and there's nothing wrong with that. I understand that. That's perfectly reasonable too. Although it would be interesting to see you as an atheist have a conversation with the apologeticist, because trying to convince each other of your personal beliefs. But I think by and large, religion's the kind of thing you just believe what you believe. There's not like you can really prove it until you're dead, right?
Wait, one thing the audience should know: if you put a comment in YouTube and then you delete it, we can still see it in StreamYard. So I noticed that God the Scummer, you had deleted the comment. If that's the one you deleted,
oh God, I'm sorry. If you didn't mean me to bring that up, I apologize.
I just want to let people know that when you delete a comment, we still see it in StreamYard. So
I'm sorry if you didn't want me to bring that up. Yeah, it's a shortcoming of StreamYard. We don't know that you took it out of and I didn't have a problem with the comment, so I didn't think anything of reading it out. I'm sorry.
No, I was just bringing it up in case people were like, oh, I typed something I shouldn't. We do still see it.
Yeah,
it does not delete from our end.
Orville says, Orville Nation says, entonces solo hablamos en español, Troy, tú y yo. No, I speak a spattering of Spanish. I did take 3 years of it in, 3+ years of it in high school. I dropped it my 4th year because it was going to bring down my grade point average. I can only speak in present tense. I had a real hard time once it was like talking in future tense and past tense. And I don't have a real head for language. Although studying Klingon has helped me a lot.
The only Spanish I know is swear words. And that's because my older sister taught me that.
I know a lot of swear words in Italian. La farito un ghoul. Ghoul. There's that ghoul again.
Uh-huh.
Farito un ghoul. You can kind of guess what that. Yeah,
I'm thinking of gabagool.
Gabagool, which is a mispronunciation of capical, which is a type of lunch meat.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, isn't that capical?
That's the thing, guys. Those of you that were fans of the Sopranos, you got to keep in mind that this was a slice of not only Italian American Italian slang, right? But specifically New York, New Jersey slang, which is similar to Chicago, but a little different.
If you ever want to watch something funny, if you ever watch Sopranos clips on YouTube, read the comments under them. I don't know. It's like the most biting comments underneath clips from The Sopranos. I can't even do it justice here. Yes.
But again, thank you, PJ, for the $2 donation. I really am encouraged by that. And I'm kind of jumping ahead, guys.
Reading the Darth Plato comment, all languages will be replaced by...
buy more juice.
Yeah.
All languages will be replaced by Esperanto, says Darth Plato.
What was the name of that? And I'll bet PJ
William Shatner.
Yes.
Incubus.
What was it?
I think it was Incubus. Or the Incubus.
I've seen that movie. It sucks.
William Shatner.
I don't mind.
Nothing William Shatner is in sucks except for maybe Star Trek.
No. I hate. Look, I don't mind reading subtitles if it's a language I don't speak. If it's a foreign language, Esperanto, made up language. Fuck you. Fuck you. Just saying.
The idea was everyone in the world would speak one language, and it would be Esperanto, right? That was the idea.
You want the world to speak one language? Let's first work on. I got to be careful saying this. If we can form one world government, and we have like-minded thought, and we can decide on a language we all want to speak, that's fine. Until then, fuck that shit.
Every time I think of one world government, I think of us fighting off the space colonies. Now we're having a war with colonies in space.
Let me tell you,
Space Nation.
I'm going with the whole Vulcan edict concept. Infinite cultures and infinite, what is it? Infinite diversity and infinite combination. Right?
That's what the
United.
That's not. Yeah, that's what the United Federation of Planets is.
That's the Vulcan concept.
Okay,
that's what
that's not the movie Hero. That's not the message of the movie Hero, which I know.
No, it's not.
Big Al was doing on his channel the other way.
No, because the United States used to be a melting pot, right? Send us you're tired, you're weary, seeking freedom, whatnot.
Yes.
Whatever the fuck it is that that Lady Liberty has on her thing there.
Bring us your tired, your poor, masses.
Whatever. Yearning to be free. Right. The idea was that everybody that comes to this country brings a little bit of their culture. That is the spice of life, right? The diversity that the true diversity, right? That benefits us. You come and you bring your skill, your heritage, your history, and we are all uplifted by it, right? As opposed to the forced diversity about bullshit that nobody gives a crap about. Just saying. I speak Spanish to God, French to men, Italian to women, and German to horse.
That might get him to gallop faster, right?
Which reminds me, what is it? It's what is that Klingon meme? It's like tell the people you love every day that you love them, but shout it at them in German. Because life is scary, or something like that. And then they substitute German with Klingon because it was similar harsh language. Again, I'm just going to jump ahead, guys, because we really do want to get to our conversation for the night. Wait, Troy, did you see the Gundam series, and which one did you see?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
no, I was trying to respond to you, Jesse, on StreamYard, and I forgot I responded as Troy as well. He has not. I have seen many of the Gundam series.
Yeah. If you're doing a sharing the stream, you got to make sure you're not all. You got to make sure you're you.
Okay.
But then the problem is, there's another problem with that, Boomer. If you switch to you, you're only putting it on your stream. You have to do it as all so that everybody can see what you're typing. Yeah.
To be fair, Gundam isn't the only series that did that. In fact, I think Alita Battle Angel, it was the Earth versus the Mars colonies, right? The United Republics of Mars.
Yes.
That a
Yes,
war
exactly.
happened there too. But
so,
anyway, yep.
Let's get to the conversation. We've talked about scapegoating. We've talked about religion. We've been all over the damn world.
We haven't gotten to the presentation yet.
Nothing says you've got to stay with us, but if you do, we might run a little bit late tonight. Just saying.
Well, I'll try not to spend too much time on each article like I do on Geeky Geezers, so just cut me off. Okay.
No, take your time. The more I drink, the more laid back I get.
Look, you like that little image I made in the
is that
in the Canva? It's an AI thing. Yeah, that's it.
I was going to say, Netter asked about the those of you that I'm sure
she's representing the media lately. Okay,
I'm sure every single one of you, of course, is subscribed to Aged Boomer. If you're not, you should be. But Sunday night, Geeky Geezers. We've got a new Geeky Geezers logo that I created. And Netter's like, wow, that looks really good. Did you draw that? And I'm like, kinda. Started out as an AI image, and I had to change it.
I like it.
Are you gonna?
It's already in the thumb. Well, yeah. If you go check out the thumbnail for Geeky Geezers for this Sunday, you'll see the new logo.
I was busy setting up the stream for Tuesday, and then I just clicked back. I'm like, that's not your new logo. The lady with their mouth open.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
This is
it's
my
an SJW having a meltdown.
This is my impression of the media reaction to all these things doing poorly, and of course they're going to blame the fans. And they're going,
I love this. That looks like the former UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. Yes, it kind of does actually. You're in the UK, aren't you? Right? I'd actually forgotten that you're on the other side of the pond. How did you get one of the drawings that the second grader drew of our school this afternoon? That's funny.
What's up here? Yeah, that's funny. All right. So we're just gonna get right to it. First up is The Crow.
Shit.
The latest movie. The director, in fact, I'll try and paste the link to the article. Give me one moment. But yeah, of course, The Crow came out and it did terribly. The Crow remake, because it sucked and nobody wanted to see it.
Who could have seen that coming? I mean, everybody loved the original Crow. Of course they're going to like... Fuck that bullshit. I can't even finish that sentence.
All right. So there is the link. I'm going to post it right here. But like I said, this will be a little less formal than on Geeky Geezers. But yeah, hold on. As expected, the new adaptation of The Crow is completely bombing at the box office, only $4.6 million on its opening weekend, and the movie's been met with tons of bad reviews. While talking to Entertainment Weekly, director Rupert Sanders responded to the backlash from fans, saying, "I think a lot of people are very active online and not so active in life. Get out and do something and have less time throwing stones."
Okay, let me pause you right there, because I want to address that, right? He's the one, or whoever it is that's talking, is the one that has... I have no fucking clue who this asshole is. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. I don't care. You're dumb.
Rupert, but who knows these days?
Rupert's anyway. A dumbass. That's all that matters. You know, I'm going to break my foot off in his ass.
Now you sound like you're an Italian.
Yeah, right? Or, you know, or Red Foreman, right? You're the one that doesn't know what real life is. Real life is real people that have opinions, that like what they like, don't like what they don't like, and the internet is for expressing those opinions. Look, this is the bottom. You know, I'm gonna jump ahead. Big spoiler for the whole night. This is my bottom line for the night. The internet is an opportunity for everybody to share their opinions. And in so doing, it is an opportunity for the entertainment industry, for the toy industry, for people that make products to pay fucking attention to what your customers are saying. This is free advice. There was a time back in the 80s and the 90s, Netter and I would go to a mall and there would be people with clipboards, people that were paid to stand around reaching out to people and saying, would you like to take a survey to tell us your opinion about a product or a movie or whatever, and we'll pay you for your opinion. They would pay for opinions because this educated them on what people wanted. This was pre-internet. Once the internet came out, all that information is fucking free to you people. All you have to do is fucking pay attention. But you don't. You fight it. You say that we're ifthophobes for holding those opinions. Well, fuck you. That's why your companies are going out of business. We'll be talking about a couple of them this Sunday on Geeky Geezers. Cross promotion. I don't care how drunk I get, I'm going to cross promote.
Okay.
I knew you were going to be dropping the F-bomb. Didn't I tell you you're going to be dropping the F-bomb a lot?
And didn't I tell you, the more I drink,
okay,
the more I cuss.
Anyway, I think that's all we need to mention. Believe it or not, the guy writing the article is actually contending this and says, no, the movie didn't resonate with audiences and nobody liked it. That's not about them not getting out and seeing
Yeah,
the
so
okay.
Here's my opportunity. I know we probably talked about this last week. Look, this movie's not doing well. This should come as no surprise to anyone. Okay? I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. It will always be true. If something is a classic, beloved, kind of put sanctified, because it is a classic, you never remake it. Okay? The Crow should not be remade. When you do, it fails. Ghostbusters should not have been remade in 2016. It failed, right? If you were to remake The Wizard of Oz, Back to the Future, Citizen Kane, these will fail. I will bet my left nut that they will fail.
Charlotte Knight Star.
That's the right one. You're not that confident.
Charlotte Knight Star saying good night.
Oh, take care, Charlotte. Hope to see you on Tuesday.
She's like, Troy's dropping too many F-bombs. Gotta go.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about the swears, guys. The more I drink,
right,
the more amped up I get.
Okay.
Right?
So this is just to start us off, but we have other stuff
Dr.
to talk
Amp
about.
here. Shovel your way out of the shit.
I almost feel like doing this almost as a PSA, just to, for all y'all YouTubers out there, people making comments on Twitter, X, and just other things. Just be careful, because right now the beast is angry. Okay, and
so
they're using us as a scapegoat. Yes.
Let me point this out. So Jesse says, Troy, what if it's a damn good remake? It's got to be better than the original. If it is a classic and beloved, it is impossible to make something better. If it was weak sauce, if it was cheesy and hokey, but a good idea, then maybe you could do a good remake. And I will say, for example, the one that people always hold up is Battlestar Galactica, right?
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica is beloved, but we all recognize how cheesy it was. When they did the remake, a lot of people initially were like, "Oh, you're gender swapping Starbuck, and you are race and age and gender swapping Boomer and da 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 da." But then we stopped and watched it, and we're like, "Wait, this is a really good story." And then as we really got into the lore of it, we're like, "Oh, these aren't really the same characters. This is, you almost have to consider an alternate timeline, alternate universe version of these characters. That all still exists. They're not overwriting it. This is something entirely different. That's why it worked.
We made the argument also on Sunday that with the Crow, there are all these different Crow graphic novels featuring different characters who have the Crow visits them, and you could have just done a different Crow story, and it would have been fine. It wouldn't have you didn't have to redo the same one. Wait, we gender swap Boomer? How come his voice sounds the same? I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no, here's what it is. You never remake a classic. If you want to reboot, and pay attention. When I say reboot, okay, reboot doesn't mean remake. Those are two different things. This piece of shit, that's a remake. Okay. Ghostbusters 2016 was a remake. It overwrites. It's
a reboot, you mean?
It's not a reboot.
Okay.
It is a remake.
Okay.
Right? Whereas a reboot sometimes is just a sequel. A sequel that takes an old property and says, hey, remember this thing? This is the next chapter in it. I would say that a remake is a reboot, but if it doesn't do well, it fails. It's a failed reboot. Whereas a sequel is almost always a reboot. You're always rebooting with each sequel. So 2016, they tried to make a reboot by doing a remake, and it failed. And then Afterlife came out, and it was a reboot that was a sequel. And it wasn't like super popular, but it was popular enough to make a profit. And they were like, okay, that's a successful reboot. Sorry, I just wanted to finish my thought before I brought up the comment. So say we all. Yes, that was another great thing that a lot of people responded to with the Battlestar Galactica remake. I guess we'll call it reimagining of pop cultural references. What is So Say We All? So Say We All is just the Battlestar Galactica version of Amen, right? And what is frack? Well, it's just a sanitized way of saying fuck, right? You know?
I never got that. I'm joking.
I was going to say, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? I can't work with you anymore.
All right. Now we got to move into the gaming space, but yeah.
We've got a lot of articles to go over on Geeky Geezers on Sunday related to gaming, but yeah,
it's
we'll
too much
stuff.
It's too much news this week. That's why. Anyway, a game called Dustborn came out.
This is a joke.
What?
Dustborn.
I'd never heard of this thing.
I love.
Well, that's at people
part
like
of the problem.
I never heard of it.
That's part of the problem. The other problem, actually, if one of the Blue Wrenches wants to drop a link to the Midnight's Edge video that dropped today about it, it's actually a really good video. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday, but Andre talks about it, and he makes reference to the tens of people playing the game, and this is legit. This was during a live stream. Some YouTuber said, well, let's go see how many people are playing it. And there was like 20 people playing it. He's like, holy crap. This is how popular it is. Tens of people are playing this game.
Not good. Dustborn developer Red Thread Games has released a statement decrying the tidal wave of hate and abuse that is surrounding the studio and game since its release last week. Dustborn is an alt history Americana road trip game that wears its politics on its sleeve. It's a game about a group of outcast queers and exploited workers who fight fascist cops and smash corporate drones while navigating new and evolving relationships. Unquote. As we put in our June preview, it holds a mostly positive user rating on Steam, an aggregated critical score of 68 on Metacritic. By all appearances, it's a decent game targeting a pretty specific audience, but it's also tracked considerable quote-unquote culture wars backlash as seen in various user reviews, YouTube videos, and Reddit threads where you see the word quote-unquote woke used a lot. There's also a not insignificant amount of glee over Dustborn's apparent modest launch sales, yet another example of the frankly pathetic eagerness some people have to grave dance on games they don't like. 10 days after Dustborn's launch, Red Thread has had enough of it. We expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate and looked forward to engaging with our players in a positive and constructive fashion, the studio said in a message posted to social media. Unfortunately, that conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. We welcome thoughtful feedback and respectful criticism. We embrace discussion and debate, but we have zero tolerance for hate speech, harassment, and threats of any kind. Those who engage in such behavior will be removed from our community.
Let's pause there for a second.
Yeah. What's the thing that you, from Midnight's Edge I'm looking for to drop?
I
was setting up my stream, so
this could be for the other game I'm going to talk about.
I think there was a review of Dustborn, so anything that they
was
did
it Dustborn or Concord?
Dustborn.
It was Dustborn.
No, it was Dustborn.
Okay.
I'm not finding anything. Can you
Here's the Midnight's Edge link.
No, not After Dark.
Oh,
Midnight's Edge.
Primary. Pensec. Is that the link? I'm sorry, I highlighted.
Oh, okay. You got it already? Awesome.
Thank you.
So did
David.
deleted scenes
Thank
too.
you.
Yeah, you both.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, maybe I miscommunicated.
Osmo.
No, this is my fault. Probably miscommunicated. Real quick, I want to say hi to Anomas. Just lurking, but I gotta hit the hey. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. You are awesome. Please, folks, make sure you're subscribed to Anomas. If you're following me on X, I'm always sharing out his streams. Make sure support those that support us, right? So here's the thing. Check out that video from Midnight's Edge that the folks
apparently
shared.
This game was funded by the Norwegian government. I didn't.
Yes, it was. This is very clearly social engineering. Somebody here. I'm sorry. I'm a little fuzzy right now, so I don't remember who it was. I brought up your comment. This is absolutely social engineering. This is not entertainment, and this is the problem. This is the entertainment industry. You need to entertain first. If you want your message, your indoctrination, your bullshit to get through, we got to actually want to play your game first. If we don't, fuck you. And I kind of implied this with my monologue at the beginning. These are people that they're fucking commies, right? They are. No, really.
No, I'm not joking. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just.
These are their religion is their politics. They want to bring about one world government that happens to be socialist, and socialism to them is not the same as what actual socialism is. Their pie in the sky belief is I can get a free paycheck to do the minimum work no matter what I do. It's lazy. Take care of me. I don't care. Let the government decide everything for me. I'll give up my freedoms so I don't have to do shit. Well, unfortunately, if you're trying to bring about that dystopia, right? Mm-hmm. By doing the bare minimum shit, right? This is what happens. Your company goes bankrupt. You lose your social credibility, and your message never gets out. We see it happening in Disney. We see it happening in the game industry. We see it happening in comics.
Yeah, if you're using entertainment for propaganda and the entertainment fails, then it hasn't really worked as propaganda either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest here.
In fact, you are actually working against your message. You are literally, look, I think everybody here who's listening to us right now, because I believe that the people that tune in and put up with my drunken bullshit are very tolerant individuals. They are a diverse group of people, right? I look at this group and I see Jewish, I see atheists, I see black, I see white, I see, British, American. I see everything in my chat right now, right? And nobody has any animosity against each other, even if we disagree about things, right? Clearly, we have somebody who does not believe in religion. We have people here that are religious. Nobody's having a problem here. Nobody. Right? But this idea of you have to agree with me or else. Look, human nature is that doesn't fly. That really doesn't fly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. But, I mean, this whole idea that, and this is where it is, right? As long as you are, okay, we disagree, that's fine, but we happen to like a lot of the same things, we can be friends, right? Whereas people like this, everyone has to agree with them. Everyone! That is absolute these people, right?
Well, it gets worse as we move along.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off.
Okay, now we're on to Concord.
Which I don't even know what this is.
Okay.
You've been sending me articles about this. I had no idea what the fuck.
Concord, I want to say was a live.
I know what Lexington and Concord is.
Do you know what a live service game is?
I don't think so.
Like World of Warcraft would be considered a live service game. It's a game that's you play online with other players mostly.
Okay, and an MMO would be.
Yeah, but this is more of a shooter live service game, whereas that's like an RPG live service.
So, like, what is that game, Netter? That
Overwatch is a lot like this game. Overwatch. Yes.
What is the PUBG?
Yeah.
PUBG probably too. I've not played these games because I don't typically play live service games myself. But
Skycraft also be what? No, because those are little pixelated.
That one I don't know about. Star Trek Online has an element of that, but that's not the primary focus of it.
Anyway, so this is a former Concord developer who now claims to work for PUBG Studios. Look at that. You just mentioned that. Malign gamers who are opposed to Concord and its woke DEI agenda. Ex-user Anim Xander posted X to celebrate Concord's release. It's Concord release day. So insanely proud of the team and what they and we have accomplished. A labor of love like nothing else. Been playing it so much since early access started a few days ago, and I'm excited for it to be available to everyone. He added, and I'm so honored to have had this be my first AAA game. Was a huge learning experience, lots of struggles, but I'm glad to have gone through them. Time to go play. He got a response. Ex-user Preston 5527226. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Good on, Preston. Good on you, Preston.
Sure.
Okay. Responded to his post writing, I'm so sorry. This has to be your first. I do not believe it is you or any of the other developers' fault that this game has performed so poorly. I can tell that a lot of effort was put into completing this game. It just came out at the wrong time and genre. I think that's a fair statement. It's not even criticizing the character designs. He's just saying that it's an overcrowded market right now, and it probably just came out at the wrong time. In a now deleted post, Adam Xander responded, I don't really care. It was a huge labor from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. Why would I care about a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? I'm sure having fun playing
because you wanted to sell or you make no money, you dumbass.
But nothing in that statement says people are hating on it. They're not interested because it's too much like other games like Overwatch.
Well, again,
this is a fantasy they have in their heads. I mean, some of YouTubers.
It is their definition of hating on. You didn't buy it, so you hate it. No, I'm uninterested.
I mean, the character designs go from ugly to not interesting. But
real quick, I want to, because I do want to comment on this. I actually love this comment. Godless Scummer says, I have come to the conclusion that over the years that communism is a wonderful idea, but ultimately doesn't work in practice. And you know what? A lot of people have come to that conclusion. Let me put a fine point on it and tell you exactly why it doesn't work. It is dependent on something that can't exist. You have to do away with human nature for communism to work. Communism works. And see, this is where people go wrong. They say, well, Jesus was a communist. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Because there's that whole bit about render unto Caesar that which is Caesar.
Yes.
Render unto God that which is God.
He was about people doing charity, not the government forcing people to do charity.
The religious community was communist. The hippie commune is communist, right? Your personal family is communist. Okay? If you extend that to the greater population, human nature takes over and communism fails. That's just human nature. I'm sorry. You're working against nature, trying to make communism work on a global scale, on a civilization scale. Works on the small scale, does not work on the big scale, right? And I'm sorry, when it comes right down to it, just to put as fine a point on it as possible, the way I treat my wife is never going to be the way I treat Aged Boomer or Godless Scummer or Deleted Scenes, right? There is always going to be a hierarchy in my heart. My wife is more than just a part of me. She is the better part of me.
Yeah, don't you forget it.
See? it's better that way. It really is. No, but seriously. Because honestly, despite that joke she just made, she does the same thing. She holds me in higher regard than herself, right? That's the only way communism is going to work, and it ain't going to work on a societal level because human nature steps in. And that therein lies the problem. This is why, real communism has never been tried. That's because real communism can't exist. That's like, real anti-gravity hasn't been tried. Yeah, you try it, you plummet to your death and you die. Because that's reality. So, sorry, just...
No, it's all right. Should I continue?
Wanted to kind of bring up. Yeah.
All right. I did want to go on. Adam Zander's reaction is not surprising, given the game's lead character designer, John Wazinski, claimed that the justice system in the United States was quote-unquote white supremacy back in 2020. Wazinski wrote on X, Proud Boys are white supremacy, police brutality is white supremacy, entire penal justice system white supremacy, the whole thread. All right, so that's the character designer. But I'm trying to see...
Complete sideline here.
Yes.
Darth Plato, do you...
you want to bring it up?
No, I am very embarrassed to admit that I don't know that. Darth Plato, you stream, don't you? I mean, first off, everybody make sure that you're subscribed to Darth Plato. I need to check out if you've got content on your channel. I have not been checking it out the way I should.
Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Yeah, thank you. And
Cluu Channel. So
the most devastating critique of Marx I've seen. Yeah.
Darth Plato has 12 subscribers and no content.
Oh, okay. Well,
but we
everybody, just for the hell of it, go subscribe to Darth Plato anyway, just for the fuck of it, and let's double that 12 to 24 tonight.
Excellent.
Yeah, I've been subbed, so
why not?
Okay. But
sorry, Boomer.
No, that's all right.
I'm going to do this. Look, Boomer reached out to me today. He's like, "Do you want me to put together a slideshow?" I'm like, "Dude, you know me. I'm all over the fucking place. And the more I drink, the more scattered I am. You are the organized one of us.
I'm going to be the organized
counting
one.
on you.
Like I said, I know we typically don't do articles like this on your Friday stream. That's why if I'm going on,
let's do it. Why not? What the fuck? Sure.
As noted by former World of Warcraft team member Mark Kern, you might know him, I think, as Grums on X. Outside of the game, on the company's website also states our team is actively looking to add passionate visionary creators who thrive in environments where the quote-unquote status quo just won't do, and who genuinely want to be part of a collaborative, inclusive, respectful team. All of this turned into an utter disaster for the game's launch day as gamers completely rejected the game. According to Steam database, the game hit a peak concurrent play count of just 697. That's people playing online. That's
697.
That's nothing.
Holy fuck, that's nothing.
To put that in context, the game's open beta in July hit a peak concurrent of 2,388. That means people playing the preview version for free Mustn't have liked it too much. To add insult to injury, the game's early access beta hit peak concurrent 1,124 payer to drop in players upon launch compared with early access 37.9%. So yeah, and let me go to the next. This continues. That we're still on the Concord stuff. Alan Wake 2 failed to turn a profit. Game senior community manager calls for quote unquote bigots to remove from the gaming community. I don't know what they mean by that.
Exactly. That is the key. What you mean by bigots, what is that, Indigo Montoya? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Real bigots have no business being in, they have no business being in society, period. But what they think are bigots and what are actually bigots, two very different things. And guys, please go ahead and continue to discuss and debate in the chat, but I'm not going to wade into the communism capitalism thing, only because that wasn't my plan for tonight.
That could be a topic for another stream, maybe.
But it might be. It might be. Don't get me wrong. I might get on it on another night. But right now, I'm going to stick with Boomer on what he's talking about. But
right now, we're talking.
Feel free to discuss among yourselves if you guys want to.
This is. I'm worried about YouTubers taking the blame for this, and then they're going to use this as an opportunity to start attacking. Mirror Dark has been attacked on.
Let me again. YouTube, in the generic sense, right? Whether it's YouTube, X, Rumble, whatever. This is people expressing themselves. And this should be paid attention to. If you start silencing people, what you do when you silence people is you are literally ignoring reality. You're like, I reject reality and I continue to live in my fiction. That's what happens when the worst of the censorship happens.
Yes.
Okay? And that never works well, especially in business. But the reality is that if you're talking YouTube specifically, I better not go down that route. This stream will get pulled down.
Yeah,
but
we'll table that for another time, maybe.
Yeah. That's Boomer's way of saying, Troy, let's talk about that when you're sober.
Basically, I didn't want to put that final point on it. Senior community manager for Remedy Entertainment, Vida Stakiewicz, called for quote unquote bigots removed from gaming communities in the wake of Firewalk Studios Concord being boycotted and shut down due to low sales. Who's boycotting it?
Nobody.
What are they talking about?
Nobody.
I don't.
Real boycotts are
when you want to buy something and you refrain from going there. Nobody wanted this to begin with.
Exactly. Because you're trying to.
And they're organized, and people say we're
when
boycotting.
You are completely uninterested. That is not a boycott. That is just. Look, one thing I will say, again, I'm not wading into any debates or anything, but true capitalism can be compared to evolutionary Darwinism, right? It's just a natural evolution, right? If you make the thing that people like, they will come and buy it.
Yes.
If you make shit nobody likes, nobody will buy it.
Yes.
This is just cause and effect, right? If you have, and the way this relates to evolution is, if you have an adaptation that gives you an advantage over others, you will pass on your genes and the others will die off. That's evolution. And capitalism is basically the same thing. Yeah. I will make more money if I make things that more people want. If I keep making stuff that just this tiny, tiny little minority likes, and then try to shame everyone else into liking it, I will go bankrupt.
Yeah.
That's just the way finances work.
Nico Partners director and research Daniel Ahmad initially reacted to the game being shut down because the game has been shut down. It's no longer with us. It's gone. It costs these live service games cost a lot of money to maintain. So
Do you have that? Do you have that?
What?
There was a Twitter thing that I shared that was specifically about this. It was
I'm going to get to it next. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
That'll be the cherry on top. I want to use that as the cherry on top. The comments around Concord from right-wing gamers show the power of collective self-deception. If you say delusional stuff about DEI enough times and build a conspiracy-focused narrative, they start seeing that false narrative everywhere, and I guess we have to live with this now. He added in a follow-up, and of course, the underlying emotional response is just standard bigotry and nothing new, except the characters were unappealing. I'm sorry.
Real quick,
you have a male audience.
Tim Hayes. I just want to say I have Tim Hayes. He just joined us. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt to say hi to people because they're good people. Go ahead.
In a subsequent post, she added, she's talking about pruning your gardens and let the flowers glow. In a subsequent post, she added, getting bigots out of your community is a band-aid and not a permanent solution. Modeling desired behaviors and championing the kinds of community members you want to be the majority of your community takes effort and time. Start early, practice often. Small steps are steps too. I don't think they understand something. This is a customer
They don't
base.
understand a lot of things.
Who are you selling to?
Exactly. They don't understand.
If you're selling,
they don't understand
SJWs,
business
you haven't
101.
cultivated enough of them to buy your product. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Jesse, if you get a chance, if you're not a Patreon member of Retro Blasting, just wait. Tomorrow or the day after, there's a video coming out from Retro Blasting. Check it out. Hasbro passed. They were working for 2 years with a foreign company to put out a lightsaber toy that extends and retracts automatically. It is the Star Wars lightsaber toy that fans have been waiting for decades, and they passed on it. And Wonderful. it is now because the guy that developed it owns the rights to it. He went ahead and put it out. He doesn't say Star Wars Jedi, none of that kind of lightsaber.
You know what? They use plenty of bean sabers and different kinds of anime. I'm just saying.
Yep.
You can license it as a
watch for that. Watch for that. Hasbro fucked up. They fucked up big time.
Terrible.
They really did.
Terrible.
You mentioned Darwin. I suggest for a lighthearted but slightly morbid stream, you guys look through. Oh, the Darwin Awards. Look. Oh, I'm glad you bring that up, Godless Scummer. Yeah. I love the Darwin Awards. There are those of you in the 2A community, and for Godless Scummer, for those of you on the other side of the pond, 2A being, the right to keep and bear arms in the United States. There are a lot of YouTube channels that talk about that. And of course, you can't talk about that without having to address the Darwin Awards, because the right to keep and bear arms also means that stupid people get the right to keep and bear arms and remove themselves from the gene pool. Just saying.
Did I ever tell you about the time when Lenin's corpse was being toured around the world, and I was with other people, and they were taking out their little pliers trying to get a fingernail, and I got his thumbnail because you weren't going to get the best of me. I now have it sealed away. Oh wait, I shouldn't mention that on there, should I?
Even though I'm not a fan of Lenin, don't desecrate his body, guys. I know. Logical Spark, haven't seen in a long time. Welcome, my friend. Glad to see
what kind
you.
of souvenir would you be able to take from Lenin's body? And I was thinking maybe a fingernail or something.
Right? Or like a hair from his chinny chin chin, right?
There you go. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this article up with saying the last comment that, for the love of Mike. January, she made it clear that she was, in January 2020, made it clear that she was doing the best to convince writing teams to make characters gay. All I do is want to befriend everyone on the writing team so I can tell them to make every character gay every time it's feasible to bring up. Yes, okay, but that's not what I was looking for. Hold on.
David, is this is this public accessible now, or is this still a Patreon exclusive? Honestly, I don't know.
Okay, this is what I liked. In another post, she made clear she did not want white men to use @what a game developer looks like hashtag. She wrote, "I'm saying this with respect to all my fellow developers and hope they come to this space with only good intentions in their hearts. But to me, the what a game developer looks like hashtag might not need quite as many white men participating. We know that's what game developers look like." Wow.
And what's funny is, and I see it from basically everybody here in my chat, everyone I interact with online, most of these games, nobody gives a flying fuck whether they're playing a black, white, Asian character, male, female, whatever the fuck.
The character needs to be cool.
Yeah, as long as the character is pretty cool, you can enjoy it. Look, I play Star Trek Online, right? And I have male and female characters of just about every race. You know, mostly that's a benefit in the game, right? You know, only certain factions can access certain things, So, okay. I'm a clothes whore in MMOs, so I got to play females as well as male to wear certain outfits and stuff like that. But just saying.
Okay.
Darwin awards the acolyte. We'll get to the acolyte. Guys. Just another warning. Oh, Boomer, do you have to work tomorrow?
No.
Okay, so we may end up going late tonight, guys.
A little.
Nothing
late.
says you have to stay with us. You can always come back for the rewatch.
We're almost done with the gaming side. Then we go into Star Wars.
But I'm going to lose track. I've already lost track of time. I'm on my third.
Jesse Gerardo says something you said might sound a little.
What? I play Skyrim. I play men,
Jesse
female.
Gerardo. Never mind.
Oh, sorry. I clicked on the wrong one.
You might have been joking. Something you said sounded. The fact that you play as anybody, I think that's...
No, that's Jesse Green. Oh, welcome, Jesse Green. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you earlier. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Should I do the last part of this little presentation?
And DJ Play Nice, welcome. Got to roll out. I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you when you got here. I apologize.
Should I do the last part of this presentation?
Yeah, go ahead.
This I was shocked by. This is on like the Steam page for this game, Concord. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just a wow with this.
This is interesting. Yeah.
Racist bigotry one again. Concord Algemeen Discussion. I guess I don't wherever this is from. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Does your day feel that a little bit better knowing a great developer comprised of hardworking folks is going to likely be shut down over this, all because you can't? Can I say this on your channel?
Go ahead.
Whack off to quote-unquote ugly character designs and cry about woke games all the time. Get the memo. This game wasn't for you in the first place. Who was it for? Because obviously they didn't get the memo.
Well, now that's fine because they're not buying into your game and you're going fucking broke. Real quick, Godless Scummer says it's already late for me. It's just gone 4:30 a.m. here. Yeah, I'm sorry. I could barely hold on to Central and East Coast here, 1 hour difference.
Hold on.
I know you're the other side of the meridian there. So dude, I super appreciate you hanging out with us. If you got a split, just come back and say hi in the comments later, catch up on us or whatever. But super appreciate hanging out as long as you could. I really appreciate it.
So get the memo. This game wasn't for you in the first place. Now a decent shooter with fresh ideas and a boring F2P market is going to die. Does that make you happy? You are what's wrong with this industry, and because of you, Sony might see this and think PC isn't worth investing their money in for future game. Hope you're satisfied. What are they talking about? Political correctness?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. What you are telling people is,
or maybe PC gaming. Okay.
This is exactly what I started with Telly Sue DeConnick, right? If this isn't made for you, stay away. So they will fucking stay away. And anything you ever fucking make, they will stay away from, because you have just insulted your client base. You've told them what I'm making isn't for you. You're a piece of shit. I don't want to do business with you. And guess what? They won't do business with you. Look.
Edit. Well, congratulations. The game is shutting down completely. Hope you miserable gamers are happy.
I'll tell you what. I'm not happy or sad. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't care.
Anyway.
You should care because you're broke. Just saying.
Oh, Jesse Gardo says, what game is this? Concord. You've never heard of it. Anyway.
I don't even know what the fuck. No. You have sent me so many articles about Concord. I don't even know what the fuck this piece of shit is.
The characters in it reminded me of like a Guardians of the Galaxy knockoff. And I'm thinking this might have been fresh 10 years ago. This is not.
So this is my point. These are people that use identity politics and social Marxism as a cover for the fact that they don't do shit. They don't know shit. Everything they put out is shit. And they want to guilt people into giving them money. Fuck you. Go away.
Anyway, this isn't going to stop now. Sony, PlayStation company. You don't have your employees talk to your customer base like this. This person, if they have not been let go, needs to be let go now. You need to issue a public apology about this.
The problem is,
this is flat out insulting to your customer base. This is ridiculous.
This is, and I'll apply this to, for example, Disney. Disney doesn't see this as a bug. They see it as a feature. They agree with this. So those companies deserve to go fucking bankrupt. If you do not put out a product people want, they will not buy it.
Yeah.
You will make no money. You will become irrelevant.
Funny enough, Sony also released another game recently, like this week, called Astrobot. And everybody's loving Astrobot. I guess it's a game like a platformer you play as a robot, like a cute robot, and it's gotten good reviews, and it's probably a game people would generally want to play.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a live service game where you can bilk people for money and get those whales that you want. Those whales in your live service games. The one person that keeps spending all their money and their parents' money on your stupid.
And here's the other thing that comes, the marketing element, right, is if you've already generated a lot of bad will, it suddenly doesn't matter if you're putting out a good product. People will stay away because you've pissed them off.
Because it's possible Sony might have tried retooling this.
Yeah.
At some point, maybe tried remaking it and reselling it. And now there's just the ill will that's just been spread now. Forget it. It's done.
There is I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but there is a Ferengi rule of acquisition. Customers are like latinum. Treasure them.
Yes. And that actually is a great Ferengi saying.
Yeah, no, the Ferengi rules of acquisition were actually a great if you're in business, there are two things you should pay close attention to. The Ferengi rules of acquisition and Sun Tzu's The Art of War, believe it or not. This is how you succeed. Know how to win a war, because business is very much like a war. And the Ferengi rules of acquisition sometimes seem contradictory, but they're not. It is play both sides of the fence, because the Ferengi rule of acquisition 112 is never have sex with the boss's daughter. But the Ferengi rule of acquisition 113 is always have sex with the boss.
Jessica was asking, the only thing I care about Sony games is the fuck are we going to get Sly Cooper 5? I have to tell you, I think the Sony president or some Sony administrator in Japan, which I found it interesting there still are Sony people in Japan because I thought they moved the entire thing to California. But Sony has a lot. He was saying that PlayStation doesn't have enough original series. And I'm thinking they could probably use more, but they have a lot of stuff they haven't utilize yet, like the Sly Cooper series.
This is an example of if you want to make money,
yes,
if you want to make money, listen to the fans. Give them what they want.
Remember Resistance: Fall of Man? You were kind of interested in that one. The first shooter that took place in.
And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of woke bullshit in there, but it was actually a good game.
Yeah, well, it was. I thought the premise was interesting. It was like alternative history where aliens invaded, so the World War II didn't happen, but then other things happened because of.
I'm sorry, I'm mistaking it for a different game. This was the first person shooter, alternate 1950s Russia, right?
Oh, that's a different one. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was thinking of oh God.
Well, you probably like Resistance. You'd find the concept.
Something Become Human. It was Something Become Human.
Detroit Become Human?
Detroit Become Human is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Sorry.
Is that the one with androids in it?
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of woke elements in it, but it was actually a really good game. Actually, I can't speak to that because I never actually played the game. I only ever watched YouTube playthroughs of it. I'm more of I'd love to see the story, don't really give a care about the game itself kind of guy. That's just me. This is where Boomer and I differ.
What do you mean? You'd care about the story?
Yeah. I don't have to play the game to enjoy a YouTube playthrough of it.
Depends on the game, I guess. Actually, Age Boomer, Sly Cooper, Killzone, and there are more games. There's Champions of Norath, which was kind of their Diablo killer. They should bring that back.
Yeah,
that took place in the EverQuest universe because Sony owns EverQuest apparently. But just
EverQuest is
a live service game. What?
EverQuest is D&D adjacent, right?
Well, it may have similar rules, but I think it's its own thing. Anyway,
EverQuest, I believe, is based on a comic. There's a really interesting YouTube series on that you should check out. Yeah, if you get a chance.
Can the best of Star Wars survive the worst of its fans? Let's move into.
So if this particular topic really resonates with you, check the description of the video. I have a MeWe group specifically called the fans. What is it?
The Fans Strike Back.
Yeah, the Fans Strike Back against Disney Star Wars. Basically, because Disney Star Wars hates its fans. It really does. There's a whole MeWe group where I post articles and talk about it. Yeah, might be worth following if you're interested in this particular topic. But Boomer, go ahead.
All right, so this is from Rolling Stone magazine, or website at least, and we don't have to spend too much time on it. But I loved the
and one of the things I learned in sociology class in high school: pay attention to your sources and evaluate the source. Some sources are better than others. Some are more objective. Some have very strong biases. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. When George Lucas debuted his science fiction epic about a galaxy far, far away in 1977, Star Wars went from a long-shot space opera into the highest-grossing science fiction franchise of all time. Almost 50 years ago on one sale to entertainment conglomerate Disney later, Star Wars isn't just a one-off world. There have been prequels, reboots, standalone television series, and an in-depth theme park attraction. I don't know how in-depth it was.
Can I interrupt
for go right ahead. I had to cut some of this out because it goes on for a bit.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
Godless Scummer, I can't agree or disagree with you only because it depends on exactly what you mean.
You've encountered some toxic people. We won't get
no doubt about it. Absolutely. Yeah. But
including people you thought you were on the same side with. Yes.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. And people that, or person that I probably agree with a lot of things, but was completely unwilling and rigid on some things. We weren't allowed to disagree, and so fuck you.
Yeah.
So based on what Age of Boomer has just reminded me of, given that, I would have to agree with you, Godless Scummer. But it depends on exactly what you specifically mean. I think the biggest problem that most fans have, most Star Wars fans, and I'm going to extend this to fans of any franchise, Star Trek, whatever. There is this idea of canon. You bring up canon, and some people get all fucking bent out of shape. And good storytelling depends on canon. If you don't have an integral story and it's whatever, this writer decides, then you're not even telling stories within the same franchise. You're making up, alternate histories, reality bullshit. There needs to be a unity of fans, or you don't have a successful franchise. You don't have a franchise, period. You have choose your own adventure stories is what you have. And Star Wars fans want things to make sense. Star Trek fans want things to make sense. When you put out a chronology, star maps, things like that, we expect all the writers to pay attention to that stuff. Not say, well, it's fiction, I can do whatever I want. No, fuck you. You follow the canon of this franchise or get the fuck out.
Can I say my personal opinion of what I think Star Wars is or is supposed to be about? I think at the core it's about heroism, isn't it?
Well, if you want to boil it down to its brass tacks, based on what Lucas said, yeah, it's basically good versus evil and the hero's journey.
Even on The Mandalorian, where he starts out maybe as kind of a anti-hero, doesn't he eventually turn into a more hero character throughout that series? Is that what happens?
He's barely an anti-hero, right?
Okay, yeah.
He is a mercenary who clearly has a heart, who is clearly, if you were to give him an alignment based on Dungeons and Dragons alignments, he's like chaotic neutral at worst.
Yes.
Right? But he definitely has a heart. And what happens? One of his first assignments is he's given a baby.
And he can't
take care of. And
he can't bring harm to the baby. That's basically what
absolutely. The father instinct kicks in.
Yes.
And this is the hero's journey, right? He's like, I need to, and it relates to his history too, and what happened to him in his past.
Right.
This is good storytelling. This is character development, and you follow this character. You break that, you lose the fandom. Boom, done. That's it. You want to make money? Tell a good story. You want to lose money? Alienate the fans. Period. Full stop.
But this is Rolling Stone. We're getting into some biased articles, so
no shit.
But like most popular culture, the Star Wars fandom, especially online, has begun inundated with loud, conservative, and in some cases incredibly racist voices. While Disney has never said these voices are directly impacting what shows get made, the vocal
pause right there. Where the fuck are they getting racist? Well, nobody gives a shit about the fact that the main character is black, that the anti-hero is Asian. Nobody cares about that bullshit.
So no one cared. I don't think anybody said a peep when Mace Windu was played by Samuel L. Jackson. When you had Lando Calrissian show up. When you had Carl Weathers was on The Mandalorian.
Netter, who has a personal vendetta against Samuel Jackson because he destroyed Coulson's cards.
Yes.
See, no, I mean, yeah. And
well, you need to watch Agents of Shield to get into that further. Okay.
I do. I love Netter for understanding that.
Especially after all the water damage he crap went through with his cards. Your cards.
If it makes you feel any better, on Agents of Shield, you find out Agent Coulson has a lot more cool toys. Okay.
Well, yes, you know, you're right about that. But
he had an old school flying
but
car.
other
like
than
in the
that,
60s.
Samuel Jackson is the GOAT, right? And even though it's very clear from some of the things that he said, politically, he and I are not aligned. I don't give a shit about
when
all
he's
that
being
stuff.
interviewed about whatever Star Wars always playing, is not bringing that up. That's the point.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
Okay, so I'm sorry. The Acolyte, in my opinion, started out with those interviews just really antagonizing the fans. One of the actors saying,
"Wait a
Anakin
minute,
blew up the
Godless
Death Star.
Scummer is making a great point here. I don't think everything that comes out under Disney is bad. I really enjoyed both the new Thrawn trilogies.
Those are the books written by Timothy Zahn. They're newer books that he wrote.
Yeah, that's not Disney. That's pre-Disney, but okay.
He might be talking, he might be talking about the Thrawn books he wrote after the Disney takeover that I think now.
I haven't read.
Which I've heard are actually good. I've not read them, but they did say one guy.
Oh no! You're right. He says enjoyed both the new Thrawn trilogy.
It was more about how he arose in the Empire, so maybe they
come out
both.
under the.
They might work with
Disney.
both timelines.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, good point. I haven't read those, so I can't evaluate. But
by
Thrawn has been done dirty in Rebels and Ahsoka, dude. you and I simpatico, okay, right? There's some things where we come from very different aspects, but I think we have more alike than unalike. Absolutely. Go ahead, Boomer. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
it's my stream. Sometimes I'm going to go off the rip.
Now I don't know. Maybe there were trolls online saying some bads, which you shouldn't do. You shouldn't.
No, absolutely. Look, I am not. Yeah. Look, I will be the first one to point out that there are some YouTube channels, even YouTube channels that I like, that go out of their way to hate on things because clicks. Yeah. But at the same time, let's be honest. What do fans like and what do fans not like? If you are not giving fans what they like, fuck you, go out of business.
Anyway. But if their endless fantasy world can't accept any stories that they don't recognize, some of the self-professed biggest fans in all the worlds could be closing themselves off to any future at all. What is crystal clear, and he has Kyber in the middle, or whoever wrote that article, before Star Wars can have another successful show, the loudest voices online need to realize that Star Wars they want to return to never existed in the first place. Will the real Star Wars please stand up? Most of the online discourse around Star Wars is centered around the franchise's most recent live-action efforts. First mirroring in 2019, these included The Mandalorian, which actually was well received by many.
First two seasons were pretty good. I enjoyed them. I actually lost friendships over the fact that I liked the first two seasons.
The Book of Boba Fett, which people were mixed on, to say the least. Ahsoka, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Andor, and people say Andor is good.
I haven't even seen Andor yet, even though some people that I greatly admire have suggested it, and I will check out Andor eventually. I suspect.
And the Acolyte. The market has been oversaturated with stories, especially many that occur in the same time frames, with fans frankly getting tired, in some cases outright bored.
So I have to ask this, based on the topic. Does a person of color have a little bit more authority to talk on this subject? Because maybe people don't realize this, but Nate, Geek Flag with Nate knows, is a forgive me for saying this and using their terminology, but person of color. He says there are no racist fans of Star Wars or Star Trek, period. Because if there were, they would never like the shows or movies in the first place. That is 100% true. Nobody gave two shits about the fact that Darth Vader's voice was a black man. Lando Calrissian was a black man. And from Empire on, so as soon as George Lucas was called out on the fact that there's no fucking black people in Star Wars, okay, he filled Empire with black people. He put in a new main character who was black. Like half of his staff on Cloud City was black, right?
Yeah. It's been in the Star Wars series almost from the beginning, and second movie, and it's not nothing weird to see. That's not the issue. The issue is that some of these characters that have been played have not been. Nobody really liked Reva. It's
right. Reva was a
nobody liked Kylo Ren.
Zero to do with the fact that she was female. It had zero to do with the fact that she was black. You wrote a shitty story with shitty characters that people didn't like, and you are trying to hide behind these social Marxist issues that nobody gives a flying fuck about.
Anyway, though, but it goes however the low audience scores angry YouTuber.
And wait, before you go on, sure. I want to finish my point here.
All right.
Nate is, let's face it, Nate I consider to be a dear friend. Okay, I am not bringing this up to say, oh, I'm not racist because I have a black friend. Because none of that stuff means bullshit to me. I don't give a fuck about race. It doesn't matter to me what Nate's race is. The fact that he happens to be a person of color, and I'm only saying that because that's their term, Nate. I know that's not a term you really dig, but whatever, right? Netter wants me to drink something other than alcohol now. But this is not me virtue signaling and saying I've got black friends. I've got friends. I don't think about what their color is until someone brings up the issue. And I'm like, oh, Nate's black and Evelyn's black. Mark's Jewish. Right? And I've got I'm sure there's other. I don't give a crap what your ethnicity is. Unless we're talking about your ethnicity and you want to share it with me and I get to learn something about your ethnicity because I find it interesting.
Yeah, it's like way back in the day when we used to belong to a particular church. We were going around to the there was like
this is a good story, guys. You'll enjoy it.
It was considered to be a not great neighborhood. It's those of you familiar with the Chicagoland area, we have a housing development, or we did, I don't know if it's still there, called Cabrini Green. So it was mostly very poor people. Most of them were black. There were some Hispanics in there as well. But we were going there to give out information on getting children free vaccinations for their health. So, other childhood vaccinations, and they could get them for free, or depending on their income, there might be a very small cost, but not a lot. And so we're going to different apartments in a particular block to get out this information. Well, we get there, and there's a bunch of us white folks in here, and our group leader for this particular day goes, okay, make sure that you grab a brother. So I grab my husband's arm and the other white guy next to me, and he goes,
because she's thinking religious brother,
and he goes, oh no, sister, I mean a brother, like
a
me.
brother.
Yeah, he goes, a brother like me, because he was black. And I'm like, and I just looked at him for a second, and I'm like, oh
yeah, it's like, oh, you mean black brother. Okay.
Yeah, because he goes, yeah, you both white folks, you need a brother with you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
It was
up until that point, I was not thinking about he's black, I'm white, or this is a black neighborhood, or any of that. It was just
let's face it, we were fucking naive, and we learned a lot that day. And yeah, there you go.
I apparently don't see color. Unless you make an issue of it, I'm not going to see your color.
Godless scummers, it's not important. I'm aware of it, but it's not important to me. Godless Scummer points out, Boomer, you may have some thoughts. I remember Anita Sarkeesian having a couple of meltdowns over The Mandalorian, which were really stupid.
I stopped following it, but she probably had an issue. She probably had an issue with Gina Carano.
I don't know because
here you have this big strong woman that all the men actually love, because of course that people think that
exactly.
That
Look,
men
Anita
like all
Sarkeesian,
kinds of women, and then
I know the name. I stopped paying attention to anything she had to say unless it was an article that Boomer said we needed to cover for Geeky Geezers because.
Yeah, I've not been commenting.
Look, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say
for a while too.
This is my stream, and I can say whatever the fuck I want. Anita Sarkeesian, fuck that bitch. I don't give a shit what she has to say. She can curl up and die for all I care.
Anyway,
tell us how you really feel, sweetie.
She can go fuck herself.
Anyway.
And not with my dick.
Okay.
Okay, honey, settle down.
Settle down.
Just saying.
Don't need YouTube.
I know a lot of feminists, and none of them like. Oh, this is interesting. Thank you, Godless Scummer. Look, I'm slurring my words now, so I'm going to mispronounce people's names. I know a lot of feminists, and none of them like Anita Sarkeesian because they feel she gives them all a bad name. Look, so Boomer and I have talked about this before. This whole concept of feminism, there are, when you talk about first wave, second wave, third wave, fourth wave feminism, there is a huge difference, right? I think a lot of us conservatives would say, yeah, we're kind of feminists in terms of we believe that women deserve equal rights, equal pay, 70s style feminism, right? Mm-hmm. But this whole thing that's arisen that all men are evil and women are better and no, fuck you. We'll give you equality. We'll not give you superiority. Go fuck yourself.
Anyways, let's move on from the Rolling Stone article because
this is why Boomer has control of the stream.
You can read more of it. It's basically ranting about the Star Wars fans. The point is, though, I'm noticing a lot of fans getting the blame. Amanda Steinberg says the Acolyte being canceled was not a huge shock after rampage of vitriol from toxic Star Wars fans.
Real quick, I want to point out the same thing that Andre over at Midnight's Edge did. Show your fucking receipts or it
you want to see
happen.
The comments.
Yes. Look, we will all condemn anyone who has a problem with your show because you're a woman, because you're black, for these ridiculous reasons. That is not the reason people don't like your show. The reason people don't like your show is because it's shit. Because it's not Star Wars. You don't know Star Wars. When Harvey Weinstein's assistant was asked what she liked about Star Wars, she goes, "Oh, I like all the Star Wars." You don't fucking know Star Wars. You don't give a shit about Star Wars or its canon. You're making up whatever bullshit you want.
Were the Jedi's bad on this show? Is that the impression I got?
That's
they were not. They were not in the right.
She is literally. This is an exact quote. She says, "I identify with the Sith." Okay, that's what she believes. She is she believes in anti-male, anti-white, anti-Christian, everything. That's what she wanted to work into this.
Leslie Headland you're talking about.
Yeah, Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant who lined up underage girls for him.
Well, we don't know that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
She's a piece of shit. She's a piece of shit is what she is. Who nepotismed her wife into this fucking piece of shit that nobody liked.
All right.
And then she brings up all these social commentary reasons for why people didn't like it. No, people didn't like it because it was a shit.
Okay. Let me read from this Variety article.
Go for it.
We go a lot of articles from Variety. Amanda Stenberg I keep wanting to say Steinberg's. Amanda Stenberg is
Whoever.
Amanda
Whoever,
Stenberg.
she's not that important, but go ahead and
Isn't
plug,
too surprised that The Acolyte has come to an end on Disney Plus. The lead of the Star Wars series shared in a statement on her Instagram story Wednesday, reflecting on the quote-unquote rampage of hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol that they faced after being cast. I'm going to be transparent and say it's not a huge shock for me. Stenberg begins in the video. There has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept and no one had even seen it. That's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudice, hatred, and hateful language toward us. I would argue that maybe hateful language and hatred, that's getting redundant.
Pause. We hadn't seen the fucking show, but we had seen all the comics and books about this
The High Republic era. The High Republic era.
That people had already rejected. So
that you're making a big deal out, you're making a big deal out of your Wookiee Jedi who you kill off screen on this series.
Right? No, absolutely. And real quick, Nate, and Nate, normally I wouldn't give a shit about this, but I think it's relevant to the conversation. Nate, who is and I hate using this term, but it's their term, person of color, right?
Okay, Nate, do you have any issue with Troy just saying black?
No, I'm just saying it because I'm trying to make a point.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. I could say black, and I don't think Nate would care. But listen to what he says. Troy, Netter, you are not naive. You are just being good people and just keep being good people. So fuck all of you social Marxists, leftist assholes who say, white people, black people, whatever. Fuck you. Okay. Nate is my brother. Okay. Doesn't matter what color he is. He happens to be black. I happen to be white. I don't give a shit about that. You do. And that says more about you than it says about either of us. Right? I guess maybe that's the point of tonight's stream. Fuck all of you fucking leftists who want to find ways to divide us based on color, race, gender, whatever. Okay? I'm here as a white male married to a white female with good friends who are black, male and female, different religions or atheists who, the opposite of religion. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. Words fail me on that, but you know what I mean. Believe differently than I do. We are all friends. Fuck you for trying to divide us. You won't do it. And all of us are united in rejecting your bullshit, canon breaking shows.
Yes. Okay.
Take over, Boomer.
You sure you're allowed to talk now?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Boomer. Okay. Though The Acolyte generally drew praise from critics, the series was The series was review bombed, meaning that a group of fans formed a digital protest and posted negative reviews en masse. This practice often impacts productions that include actors of color and LGBTQ characters. The 2017 Star Wars film, The Last Jedi, also faced an extreme backlash from online fans upon its release. This really affected me when I first got the job because it's not something even I thought anticipating it happening. It's not something you can fully understand what it feels like until it's happening to you, Stenberg says. However, I feel like I kind of moved through those feelings in various ways, including being vocal about it myself. Yeah, she did that little music video. It just became inarguable for me at a certain point, and in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal, even in the context of working for Disney. It is an incredible honor and dream for me to be in this universe. They added, of course, I'm very sad about the show being canceled. I just want to let the people out there know who supported us in that way and supported us vocally, despite and in the face of all vitriol that we received and the kind of targeted attack. I would just say we received by the alt-right, just that you were deeply loved and appreciated, and it made this job all the worthwhile. What is she talking about?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I hate to say this. You know, I can tell you and I, we barely talked about the Acolyte up until now. Let's be honest here on either of our channels.
I don't give a shit about the Acolyte. Godless Scumner, says one of Anita Sarkeesian's issues was Bo-Katan's boob armor. Look, guys, regarding boob armor, go check out the channel Shadiversity. Do a search for boob armor. He's got great videos talking about it from a historic standpoint, from a realistic standpoint. Fuck Anita Sarkeesian. And I mean that rhetorically, not literally.
Okay.
Because I would not fuck her with you.
Okay, sweetie. Dial it down. You're starting to get me mad.
Right?
I don't care for either, but the bots are listening. Anyway,
fuck the bots.
I have no idea. Okay. Anyways, what are we talking about now? Hey, Troy, speaking of a leftist, I think there's a shit ton we disagree on, but you seem like a kind of guy I could go have a beer with and get on.
See, no, exactly. That is the whole point of my channel. You have just summed it up.
Okay.
In one comment, Godless Scumner. Thank you so much.
I got a ruler. I'm not afraid to use it.
You know what?
All right.
I've been beaten by nuns for years, so I'm used to that shit. Yeah.
Here we go.
Smack you over the head with it.
Not over the head, only on the hands.
Past Star Wars actor support Amanda Stenberg after Acolyte's cancellation. I'm sorry though, but when she
wait a minute, I want to go back to this comment real quick.
Yes,
Godless Scumner, excuse me. I really am slurring my words, and that's why I'm mispronouncing things. Forgive me. But he basically sums up the whole point of my channel, right? We can disagree and still be friends. That's the whole point of my channel. If that's not true, my channel has no point. But this comes back to that whole Klingon, or no, excuse me, Vulcan thing, right? Infinite diversity in infinite combinations. We don't have to agree, but the conversation is what's important. And who knows? Maybe somewhere in the future we end up agreeing. Go ahead, George. Take over.
Past Star Wars actor support Amanda Stenberg after the Acolyte cancellation. The amount of support actors, usually actors of color, get during and after they're harassed in projects like Star Wars is unfortunately minimal. And now only a few ex-Star Wars actors.
Oh, look, I'm black. I deserve special consideration because I'm a special.
Anyway, only a few ex-Star Wars actors are publicly supporting Amanda Stenberg in the wake of the cancellation of the Acolyte and the racist backlash she faced before the show even started.
Racist backlash.
Okay, those actors
because so many people hate Lando so much.
Those actors are ones that they themselves have faced. Right, John Boyega played Finn in the Disney trilogy. Best who played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels.
John Boyega was actually pretty cool. I kind of liked his character.
Well, wait a minute.
He was one of the better things about that show.
Hold on, but I don't even know where in this article even says how he was harassed.
Yeah,
because all he says is Best was explicit in his support, saying, "I will always stand in solidarity for artists who give 110% of the work."
I will admit
keep
this.
shining queen. Nothing wrong with that
when
statement.
we first saw the trailer for Force Awakens,
yes,
and we saw a black stormtrooper, we were like, "Wait, what?" But once we saw the movie, we were like, "Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense."
Yes,
right. Anyone could be a stormtrooper.
Yes.
So whatever.
Yeah, it didn't shock me. I'm just, yeah, I think we were
the bigger problems had nothing to do with John Boyega.
Yes. I would have done some tweaking to his character to make him a little more interesting, but that wasn't his fault.
He should have been more of a hero, and he was like,
no,
they turned him into a cuck.
No, here's what it is. I don't mind the fact that here's what I would have done with this character. You know, I needed a job. This thing was signing up soldiers. I figured, hey, you know, see the universe. And then they have me cutting off heads and crap. I'm not into that. It's like I just got to get away from these people. And he's kind of and he starts out as a coward.
And it's a great character, and I don't care if he's black, white, or alien. His character made perfect sense.
Yes.
In terms of the story, you had the kernels of a great story. You fucked it up, you assholes.
Okay. John Boyega was more subtle, posting a Han Solo scoundrel salute image under a post addressing the cancellation of the show. So I think they're just saying, you know, too bad the show was canceled. We support you. I don't think they're talking anything about specific harassment that she may or may not have gotten. Ahmed Best had previously said his mental health got so bad in the wake of Star Wars he considered taking his own life. Now that was back in the Phantom Menace days, and let's be honest with you, the early days of the internet, you think things are bad now. People were very nasty back in the early days.
Ahmed Best, look,
I'm
going to say I have come to have very different opinions about his character.
Yes.
And then they recast him as a Jedi in the Disney era, who is kind of become a fan favorite.
Right.
His character is like, I like that character. He's the character basically who's responsible for rescuing Grogu,
right,
in the history behind the Mandalorian.
Okay.
And it's like, dude, his character is badass.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you know, I still, you know, fan theory about the whole Jar Jar Binks Sith Lord thing. I'm kind of buying into that. And I wish they had gone that route, but
no, they did in some kind of Lego thing they're doing now. They're having him as a
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Ahmed Best is not the problem with
no,
Star
he wasn't
Wars.
the problem. And I feel bad if he probably was. People were probably attacking him over Jar Jar back in the day because a lot of people took out their frustrations, especially with that first.
For fuck's sake, Jar Jar Binks is pretty damn cool by comparison to what we've gotten since Disney bullshit.
Oh my goodness, I don't even.
Right?
I don't. Well, yeah, Babu Frick, right? He's pretty cool. I'm joking, of course. I'm kidding.
He's not offensive, if anything.
No, that was Rise of Skywalker. That was the worst of the sequel trilogy, and that's saying a lot. Because Last Jedi was terrible too, but I don't know.
God, you know, this is don't get me wrong, Guileless Scumner. I've kind of followed your channel. Yes, we probably disagree on a lot of socio-political type stuff, but at the same time, I think you and I would get along famously in person, having a drink at a pub, you know, just saying. He says, I think society has gotten bad because we can't disagree civilly anymore. Just because someone has a different political view, politics shouldn't define us as human beings. And I would say that is the perfect summation of how I'm feeling. You know, I do feel that Godless Scummer and I probably, I hate to say it this way, but probably on, in quotes, diametrically opposed, you know, sides politically. Doesn't fucking matter. I think that we agree on very fundamental things that would make us kind of simpatico, that our politics don't fucking matter. Right? That's kind of the whole point of my stream tonight. And God, I'm just so thankful you're here tonight, Guileless Scumner, because you're making my point for me. I super appreciate it.
Anyway, there's an interesting quote from Boyega here. I'm the only cast member who had their own unique experience of that franchise based on their race, Boyega told British GQ. Let's just leave it like that. It makes you angry with a process like that. It makes you much more militant. It changes you because you realize I got given this opportunity, but not in an industry that wasn't even ready for me. Nobody else in this cast had people saying they were going to boycott the movie because they were in it. Well,
pay attention to what he's actually saying.
Yeah.
He's basically saying the industry had a problem with me, not the fans.
Well, let's be honest with you. There's that whole thing of the poster in China.
Yes, thank you. That's exactly what I was getting to.
Yes, which was wrong. And
yes,
yeah.
And he's like, fuck all of you guys, is what he's saying. Look, and I am 100%.
I hope he still has a career. I have nothing against. Yeah.
Let me tell you, he got done dirty. I would have loved it if he had turned out to be the.
I thought he was going to be the main character of the trilogy.
I did too. I thought he was going to turn out to be force sensitive and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, there were some things about the sequel trilogy that could have been awesome, and they literally stepped on it, crushed it, shat on it.
Yeah. Moving right along, and I think this is the last one.
This sums up exactly my opinion on almost everything. We disagree on a lot, but I think we have more in common than we have differences.
Yeah, this is
dude. Oh God, Godless Scumner, do you like alcohol? Just asking. Doesn't matter if you do or not, but I'm just curious now.
Curtis, they had some great ideas in the Acolyte, but for some reason they just kind of destroyed everything. That's what Disney does. Like
when I said in my opening monologue, right? I said these cultural Marxists, these social vandals. I meant that. That is the through line for this whole stream.
Like even in Last Jedi, with the idea that maybe Kylo Ren and Rey wouldn't fight each other, they would just join forces and stop this whole dark light thing. Now, I don't know if that would have been a good idea, but at least would have been more interesting than what we got anyway.
Yeah.
But it was just.
And let me say, just Daisy Ridley, right?
Yes.
You know, people are down on her because of the role she played.
I never attacked her. Yeah.
No. I do feel, and I've said this in multiple social media streams, if you are an actor, fucking pay attention to the lay of the land. Don't take remakes and these socially enginered gender swap, race swap bullshit.
No one knew this was going to happen at the time.
No, I agree with you. The people that were involved in the original trilogy had no fucking clue this bullshit was happening.
Nope.
But at the same time, Daisy Ridley, beautiful woman who could have been a great asset to Star Wars. I would have been totally behind her as the driving force, as the hero for the next phase of Star Wars. But she was done as dirty as John Boyega.
I kind of wish she had gone into British television. Maybe after this trilogy, she could have done stuff with, the BBC or ITV or something. But oh well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. So this is why, coming around again, I've said this about a number of things. Pay attention. If you're an actor and you take a role in a ill-advised remake or, culturally vandalizing script, stay the fuck away from it. Say, you know what? I don't need a paycheck this bad.
Let's be honest here. Last Jedi had Laura Dern in it. We're loving Laura Dern on Twin Peaks. They turned her
absolutely
into Admiral Holdo, which No.
She had no idea what she was getting into with Star Wars. She should have stayed the fuck away from
Oscar Isaac, great actor. They didn't know what to do with him. His personality completely changed from Force Awakens to Last Jedi. It's like
they shat all over him.
Yes. So
but I'll tell you what, Dune, he's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man. And I don't know what his ethnicity is, and I don't care.
I think he's Latino, but I don't think it matters. I don't think he brings it up. He's just an actor.
Let's face it. I do have an affinity for Latino, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay, all right. Anyway,
right. Growing up Italian American, just
simpatico stuff. I see.
Yeah.
Anyway, viewpoints aren't always the same this is from That Park Place, and we're going to end with this. Viewpoints aren't always the same from individual to individual, from community to community, and from nation to nation. Expression of those viewpoints, however, is vital to the understanding of individuals. Please, YouTube, listen. Not to mention the ability to navigate disagreements in a civilized, tolerable fashion. Most of the time. Anyway, one area...
Look, I've disagreed with people in my own chat, and we have loved each other doing it.
There you go. Yes. One area where there seems to be tremendous agreement, however, is that The Acolyte, a television show on Disney Plus is created by Lucasfilm, was not a very good experience for viewers. The Acolyte currently has a horrendous 3.7 audience score on Metacritic and 18% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Claims of the show was review bummed seem hard to square with other shows having received excellent audience reception in the past, even when their messaging has gone against those who might have disliked The Acolyte. For example, it's hard to figure out how Barbie could have done so well at the box office and with audiences, even while being accused of some degree of misandry. Where were all the vitriolic rage baiters for that film? So I guess what he's trying to say is maybe all this stuff about, hate bombing and rage baiters, this isn't an actual thing.
So I'll tell you what, Barbie is the exception that proves the rule, right? It is absolutely misandrist. It is absolutely biased, fourth wave feminist bullshit, but it was a good movie. And that's the key. And it catered to its audience. That's why it did well.
I mean, look at you mentioned Hocus Pocus 2 and Inside Out 2. These weren't review bombed. And if you're a Disney hater and a hater of Disney Star Wars, if there really was this concerted effort to destroy Disney, you'd be going after anything Disney related. That's not happening.
Absolutely.
Because people, it's just regular people who go on there says I didn't care for it. It's not this fantasy they've cooked up in their heads that there's legions of just angry guys in their basement that are just review bombing with nothing better to do. I'm sorry. I think this is a fantasy. It might be
there's nobody who gives a flying fuck about something that is review bombing things just for the fuck of it. They are giving honest opinions. You might do well to pay attention to these honest opinions if you want to make money. If you don't want to make money, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But if you want to make money, pay attention.
It might be that audiences are not so easily predicted. It also might be that there's simply little substance to the claims that The Acolyte is under attack for some crazed group of people who want to end shows for featuring minorities. One might reasonably conclude that the same critics at Lucasfilm are probably also fans of Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and any number of shows featuring minority casts, but also did not delve into modern identitarianism in the same way.
Well, there's a great point. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I love the original series. I didn't watch a single episode of the remake.
They did a remake?
Yes. There was a new series called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yeah, you may have misread that article. They were talking about the remake, not the original series.
I didn't realize
that we all watched as kids.
Okay.
The whole reason we liked Will Smith was because of the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, he is a talent.
They remade it. It was rejected. Most people didn't care for it.
So was the Doogie Howser remake, but I didn't spend time review bombing that because I just didn't care. The one where they changed, they did a gender swap.
But this brings us back to the basic topic of tonight.
Wouldn't it have made more sense to make it like Doogie Howser's great niece or something, and then Neil Patrick Harris could pop on an episode or two,
right?
Just to show up. That they could do that, and then it could still be in like the continuity.
Because if you completely remake it, if you completely remake it and it has no connection to the original, you don't bring over the old fans, and you are gambling whether you get new fans, and it failed. Look. Doogie Howser was.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was Vinny's kid that was the super genius?
Yeah.
Doctor?
Oh God, that would have been funny.
That funny, like funny. Just by happenstance, and he's the.
Because he was the dumbass, but he was the Italian that I liked because
we say he was a dumbass, but I want to say that his problem was, and I think he learned this over the course of the series, he needed to apply himself.
Yes.
Stop being lazy because he had talent as a filmmaker.
That's true.
It was shown later on. He loved movies. He was doing some good stuff as a film student on the show. Yeah.
But look, remakes never work. If you are remaking something that people loved, you're fucking yourself. If you are remaking something that had potential that is unknown, okay, there's an opportunity there. But yeah.
Can I mention one of my favorite scenes on Doogie Howser?
Go for it.
There's a scene at the beginning where he has to give a presentation in his French class, Vinny, and he just has a board with all types of French cheeses on it.
Right.
And he gets in there. She's like, and like Doogie's like, I can't believe this. I don't like French, whatever. And Doogie's looking at him and says, You're a filmmaker. I don't know why you're not into learning this language. I guess because he's considering so many great movies have been made in
Good
France.
Point.
And then he was saying, and he says, I know Italian. And he says, you know swear words in Italian. He says, that's all you need to know.
Well, he's got a point there. Italian American, that's pretty much true. Let me just say this.
Yes.
Doogie Howser, that put what was the actor's name? You just said it. Who played Doogie Howser?
Neil Patrick Harris. Neil
Patrick Harris. That's what put him on the map.
Yeah.
Right? In real life, gay actor. Nobody gives a shit.
He was in those Harold and Kumar movies, which were very funny. And well, look at that. They with non-white actions in them, and people love
non-white actors who nobody gave a shit about because it was a good movie that people enjoyed. Look, you're looking for racism as a shield against your bullshit crap films that nobody likes. That's
what they're doing here.
You're lazy fuckers who can't turn out a good movie. And hiding behind ethnicity doesn't help you.
Anyway, let me
grow the fuck up.
Let me read back from WDW Pro. Despite what should have been an indictment of Lucasfilm head Kathleen Kennedy hiring former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Edlin, to run the show, a new defense has sprung up. Instead of it being the fault of a wayward studio with rapidly declining engagement, it is instead the act of deranged trolls which derailed the Acolyte. Occam's razor, this is not. Star of the show.
True.
Amanda Stenberg drew some praise, but also a tremendous amount of controversy when she released a diss track aimed at taking on critics of the Acolyte while the ratings were still plummeting.
Look,
she's the one that
out of your way
to
alienate people. Fuck you. If you can't create a show that is successful on its own merits, if you have to go out of your way to antagonize people, fuck you, you deserve to fail.
Where is Disney when that was going on? No, do not.
Disney is filled with ideologue assholes that agree with this bullshit. They are not profit motive. They are ideologue motive.
Now with the show canceled, the above monologue she provided on Instagram has set up a new confrontation. The claim is folks didn't watch the show because of hatred, not because of poor writing, acting, or anything else. Instead, disliking the show is now synonymous with the worst of society. It's then easy to see
She is a coward because she hides behind these lies and bullshit to cover up her laziness and the failure of the show.
Yeah. It's then easy to see how such an environment can breed a new, seemingly organized effort to demonetize and strike down prominent voices who failed to review the Acolyte well. This is what he's talking about, though, the fact that they're probably going to be coming after users and YouTubers who reviewed the Acolyte. I've heard that, what is it, Star Wars Theory, they want to go after him, who is not even a political guy. He's not.
No.
He's just a Star Wars fan.
Star Wars fan.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if they liked X-Men 97, Godzilla -1, Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels, or any of the other entertainment offerings. All that matters is if they review the Acolyte poorly, they must be silenced.
Yeah.
Or there's just a bunch of low engagement
This
voices.
is very Maoist thought process. You agree with us, or you are the enemy, and we will use whatever tactics we have to destroy you.
However, Team YouTube has often replied directly to these posts, and many more we have not included for brevity's sake. While this may be YouTube's modus operandi to have people follow the normal channels of objection rather than creating a ruckus on X, it still needs to be addressed. That Park Place condemns in the strongest possible terms anyone that treats another person poorly based on their skin color, origin, sex, etc. I think we would agree with that statement too.
Look. I mean, when it comes right down to it, I not only don't have a problem with people that are different from me, I have a great deal of respect because people that are different from me provide me the opportunity to have a different perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
People that have a different skin color. Look, I love that line from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Allah loves wondrous diversity. No, that wasn't it. Allah loves wondrous. I forget the line.
It
wasn't diversity, but it's because the little English
Variety,
girl says to him, why are you black? And he says, because Allah loves wondrous
variety.
Variety, yes. I love that line. That is just fucking brilliant.
No, one of my favorite lines.
And you better believe the little girl went away going, okay, that makes sense.
What I liked was the blind guy complaining about, I guess, what is it, the Saracens or whatever, and all this, and he says, "What are you, Flemish?" And he goes, "Moorish." And he's like,
oh, "That was brilliant." Yes. What are you, Flemish? Which, in context, you have to understand where that's coming from. It's like, oh, Moorish. Oh, that's almost worse than Flemish. Almost worse than Flemish.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, however, weaponizing empathy with false flags intended to prevent negative discourse around a show that some people didn't enjoy is a real issue in today's world. Now, I know there are major issues happening all across our planet that deserve our attention. Maybe this is currently not the significant threat to civilized conversation that other pressing matters might be. That said, if this campaign is successful, it would have a serious deleterious impact on YouTube. Being critical of art is a key liberty necessary for the improvement of art. Being open to criticism is a sign of maturity, and having debate online necessitates the one side disagrees with the other. Shutting down that debate for the sake of preventing any negativity toward a piece of entertainment is a malignant effort and one we should not support. While criticism can go too far, and yes, being critical of art based on immutable human differences is awful, we must be careful that we not conflate legitimate critique with something far worse simply because it serves the purpose of the propagandists who wish all of those with differing opinions to be silenced. Here's to hoping that YouTube is wise enough to recognize the concerted effort to cancel critical thinking in response to the cancellation of the Acolyte. The two are not the same, and only one should appropriately be revoked from its platform. Okay, WW Pro.
I love what Nate says here. He says Amanda Stenberg is one of those people who thinks that anything negative that happens to them is in their life is because of the color of their skin. She sees any criticism as bigotry. Now, I'm sorry, Nate. It is irrelevant to this conversation. Nate is a person of color, right? He's a black man, and he's calling this bullshit out, right? Because hiding behind your skin color is a chump move, right? You never improve if you use your skin color as an excuse. If you listen to reasonable criticism and go, okay, how can I improve? You will improve. If you put up your defensive and say, oh, racism, you will never improve, and you will always be irrelevant.
People weren't going to like this project no matter who they cast in the parts.
Yeah, no, if Amanda Stenberg had been cast by a white woman or a white man, even this show still would have been
liked
shit.
this show. It was badly
this
written.
shit was badly written. I don't care if it's white female, black man, Asian man, female, Wookiee, whatever you are. The story broke.
Seems the Wookiee was done. The Wookiee was done dirty on the show.
Yeah, all the people that people actually liked about this show got killed.
Yeah, people were liking some of the Jedi characters that they just mercilessly.
Yeah, the Asian male character. Oh, this is interesting. Over on Bosk's Bounty, again, you know, if you're a toy fan, Bosk's Bounty did a review of the most recent wave of Hasbro figures. A lot of them came from this fucking acolyte. There were two of this Asian guy here.
Yeah,
because it was popular.
The actor learned English, I think, for this role. I don't know, or at least
I think he learned it. I may be wrong.
English, yeah,
I may be wrong, but I think he learned his lines phonetically.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job from what I saw. Clips I saw. This Amanda Stenberg played two roles. She got her two characters were put into the wave. Everyone else got doubled up. So she got, you know, her two characters were considered one. I mean, nobody wanted her character, right? But people were okay with two of the Asian guy and two of the droids and two of the you know, whatever.
And the beaver dude. Hopefully not. Sorry, you look kind of dumb. Anyway, let's remove this from the chat. This is the end of our stories. But the reason I did this was sort of like a PSA that YouTube is I'm not going to say YouTube, but they want YouTube. They want to shut down YouTubers for criticizing shows that get canceled. The show got canceled not because of YouTubers. So it got canceled because it couldn't find an audience.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people listen to the YouTubers. Let's be honest.
Quit demonizing the YouTubers. Maybe start paying attention to them. If you do, you will be successful. If you do not, you will fail. You will continue to fail. You will go bankrupt. It is happening very clearly. We can see it. We are laughing at you, Disney. Get your shit together.
And please don't make a Star Wars show where the Sith aren't so bad and the Jedi really aren't that good and good is bad and bad is good and blah, 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 blah. We're tired of this crap.
This is not the story that George Lucas gave us. George Lucas gave us good versus evil, and it was very clear. Dark versus light. There was no ambiguity. Fuck you all for your moral relativism bullshit.
So apparently tonight's stream is brought to you by the word fuck.
Well, yes.
Yes.
But it's well deserved, I think, by the social vandals that we are addressing tonight.
Anyway.
Real quick, I want to thank above all Agent Boomer, because let's face it, this stream was his. I got so drunk I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. He was the one who put together the visuals and kept us on track, and this is why he is my designated driver. So thank you, Agent Boomer, for that.
Yes.
We should probably and you know what? I also want to thank all of you in the chat. Great conversations tonight. I love the fact that there were people here who didn't 100% agree, but we got along in our conversation. That in my mind justifies everything we're doing here. Thank you, everyone. So what have we got coming up? We got so tonight is we're getting those of you on the East Coast, we are past the midnight. We are coming up on midnight here on the Central. So we are looking now to Sunday. Sunday is what? It's all deleted scenes all the time, right? Because 3 Central, 4 Eastern is Western Cinema Presents. And guys, Blue Wrenches drop links if you are aware of what's going on. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. For Tommy. It's coming up on midnight. So Tommy is over in the East Coast with you, Boomer.
Gotcha.
So 3 Central, 4 Eastern on. Oh, wait a minute. We're coming up on Saturday. I'm skipping it.
Yes.
Saturday. So
the little shop.
Curtis. No, first is Curtis Selby has Saturday morning cartoons. I'm probably going to sleep through that, but I will catch it on the rerun because hungover. But I will check out his Sunday morning cartoons because I'm really interested. Curtis Selby is a great supporter of the channel, and I super appreciate him. Check out his channel when you get a chance. He's a little more political than I am, if you can believe that after tonight's stream. But later tonight over on Big Al Presents Films with Friends, Big Al Netter and I will be watching one of my favorite comedy musicals, Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis. I am very much looking forward to that. You got to expect me to sing. I will sing. I'm just warning you in advance. Just saying. So,
it's a classic.
It is. It really is. Suddenly Seymour. Yeah, you'll get more of that tomorrow. Just, I hope that doesn't keep you away. It's not Big Al's fault that I sing. Just saying. So that is Saturday. Sunday is all deleted scenes all the time, starting at 3 Central, 4 Eastern with his and Outlaw Bill. What is it called?
Western Cinema Presents.
Western Cinema Presents. Thank you very much. Yes. I don't know what the Western Cinema is this week, but if he's here, he can certainly tell you.
If you're listening, deleted, you guys got to do Rustler's Rhapsody someday.
I have no idea what that is.
It's fun. It's got Mary Lou Henner in it.
I like Mary Lou Henner.
Yes, she was in Taxi.
She not only that. Oh, Mary Lou Henner is.
She's in one of those Western corset outfits. Okay, in this movie.
Oh God, I'd love to see it. Yeah, she's a babe. She's a babe who's got a brain to match. She has an eidetic memory. She has done a lot of scientific studies because she remembers everything in detail. You can give her a date and she can tell you exactly what she did that day, what she ate that day, where she was. She's got a fucking incredible memory. Yeah, she's amazing. And she's gorgeous. Let's face it. So that is Western Cinema. He also does the unscripted. He tends to get off on kind of like my streams. He gets off a little bit on rants and maybe gets a little political sometimes, but that is 7 Central, 8 Eastern over on Deleted Scenes channel, which leads into Geeky Geezers. Give us the times, the topics.
Well, here's the deal. We're going to be doing, we're going to talk a little bit more about Concord being shut down, but we're also going to be doing the big Paramount news this week, which apparently now they are under new management.
Yes, they are, but Star Trek fans don't get too excited.
Don't get excited yet.
Any big changes there?
We got some other news topics too we'll be discussing, and also we will be simulcasting. This will be the first simulcast Geeky Geezer stream, so you be sure to check it out on my channel if you can, but also it'll be on here. And in case my channel isn't up or
ever
anything,
gets yeeted, I'll be having copies of it on my channel.
Okay, you'll be definitely be able to see it on
which
Troy.
Also means that we will be able to after after Geeky Geezers, we can auto dramatically forward you to deleted scenes other side of midnight.
I'm not sure if that's going on this weekend or not. I know he was thinking about it, but he wasn't sure he was going to do it.
Well, if the stream is up, we will forward you to it.
We'll tell you about it on Sunday. Yes.
Yeah. We're working behind the scenes to support each other.
Yes.
And help you guys out. Forward you to the streams so that we can keep some kind of cohesion between all of our channels because it's almost like a network. It really is.
Yes.
It's good stuff. So that is Sunday. That leads us into Monday night at the movies on my channel. We're doing a Terminator twofer. So the original Terminator and Terminator 2, myself, Netter, and very special guest, Sin's Corner. We also consider her to be like a subject matter expert. She is a Terminator super fan. She won't be with us from the beginning. She's going to be off with the whole what is that? Regal Theater Presents or whatever. She gets to see movies before the rest of us peons do. So she'll be at the cinema, and it lets out when I'll be starting my stream. So she'll join us as soon as she can. That is Monday night at the movies, starting at 8 Central, 9 Eastern on my channel, Terminator. Cosme link will be provided. If you don't have your own copy of Terminator, we'll accommodate you. Which brings us to Tuesday. There's a lot going on Tuesday.
Live from Sparkwood in 21.
No. Before that.
Even before that. Okay.
4:30 Central, 5:30 Eastern. I will be joining Pops over on his channel at Pops, which is Pops on Pop Culture. That's why we're doing the rewatch of Terminator, because we will be talking Terminator on Tuesday on Pop's channel. Check out my community tab. I've got the link up there, and I talk about it, and I will share that out again on social media as we get closer to it. After that, then we will be 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern over on Deleted Scenes for Sparkwood and 21, part 11 of Twin Peaks: The Return. Things are getting good, my friends. This is kind of a mind-blowing episode. This breaks apart the whole Black Lodge, White Lodge, what is real, what isn't, and this is probably the big James Belushi episode. Definitely worth checking out. Hope you join us over on Deleted Scenes channel. That's Tuesday. Thursday over on Netter's Network.
My special guest will be, I want to make sure I get the name right. Hold on. Raquel SSG 2211.
Yep. And if you're not already subscribed, you will find out about her channel and then subscribe, because you are a wonderful supporter. That is Thursday on Netter's Network, 9 Central, 10 Eastern, which brings us around to next Friday. I'm drawing a blank, my friend. What were we talking about next Friday?
It's an unfortunate anniversary is happening this week, and we thought we might comment.
That's right.
On it.
We will talk about the
memories maybe of that day. Yeah.
Memories of 9/11. It's a 9/11 memorial. Yeah. So I don't know if you consider that political, but
it shouldn't be. It's an historical event. We're not going after any groups. Event. We're just talking about what happened.
If you're outside the United States, maybe it's not as big a deal to you, but those of us here in the United States, where were you on 9/11, and what does it mean, and what has happened since? Yeah. So that is next week. Last call, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Maybe a little bit serious of a stream, but I haven't talked about it on this channel before. We probably should. So hope you can join us for that. And that brings us around to Netter a week from tomorrow, what is your film?
My film is...
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I'm too...
No. Dune with special Smee. Hello, Humans Thade.
Yep. Thade will be joining us because he asked to. And
Because he's a Smee.
This is Dune Part 1 with Zendaya and what's his name?
John Boyega. No, not John Boyega. Excuse me. Oscar Isaac. And Timothy Chalamet.
That's
and
the
Rebecca
kid.
Ferguson.
Yeah, the best so far of the two, the best of the Dune films. I think they fell short in the second movie.
Right.
But we'll talk a little bit about that, but we will watch it together. Again, Cosme link will be provided over on Netters Network. That is a week from tomorrow or today, depending on what side of the date line you are. So there you go. So that is the week in review.
And so this was hopefully it was an informative and fun stream. And that's all right. We'll have an interesting topic too in 2 weeks' time as well. That's a little more fun, but I thought it's important for us to honor what happened all those years ago.
I agree.
And I think because I think people have forgotten about it. I'll be honest with you. I think it's now a memory.
I agree.
I think we not forget what
remember the Maine, the Plymouth
Yeah.
Rock.
Yes.
The Alamo.
Remember a mayor of that city who has really got maligned recently, and the things he did that day.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
So remind me to bring that. You'll bring it up.
I'll bring it up. Yeah, we'll bring it up.
But
Sure.
guys, I want to thank you guys so much. Well, you know what? I'll get the last word. AJ Boomer, last thoughts.
Nothing. Thank you for having me. And like I said, stay vigilant out there because they might come after you if you start critiquing shows now. I hope. Actually, the idea is I don't think we're there yet, but they want to bring that. They want to make that the case. We have to basically push back right away on that. Yes.
Absolutely. Don't be gaslit.
No tolerance on that front. No.
Netter, last thoughts and last words?
Does that mean you want me to take us out?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you guys know I always mention to make sure that you're sub to every member of the panel as well as every member of the chat. And hold on. I managed to take off my mute on one of my YouTube streams I have up, and because I got
and you started getting words coming through.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, why am I hearing me? Okay. So
we can't hear it, so it's okay.
That's fine.
No. But you know how
I know.
Distracting.
You mute the other YouTube channel so that you don't hear it twice.
It's weird. Yeah.
One of them came unmuted, and that's threw me off. Anyway, y'all know that I always talk about making sure that you're sub to every member of the panel as well as every member of the chat. And if you think you're sub, go back and double check you're still sub because YouTube.
And make sure you hit that notification bell too.
Yes, and for my guest on Thursday, I've already pinned her channel to the top of the chat in my Thursday things for this week. So really easy, just go there because my stream's up. Go there, click on the link at the top of the chat. You can sub to her. I said the subs don't cost you anything, but they mean so much. They are immeasurable to us who are trying to grow our channels.
Yep.
So thank you for that. And with that said, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it's so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat.
Because you are
and you're
fun.
dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you know you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. And you can be anywhere right now, and you're here. Even at this hour, you're still here. That's just amazing and so encouraging. So thank you for being so Osmo. Thank you for being a part of our family. Yeah, like I said, I love seeing you guys in our streams, and we have a lot of streams. So thank you for making the rounds, encouraging all of us, giving us those thumbs up, dropping a comment, whatever it may be. Thank you so much for all that, because it really does mean a lot. It may not seem like a lot to anyone, but it's like the skill of listening.
It may not seem like a big thing, but it means so much. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for those who have been trying to help me get my watch hours. I need now like 690.
Yeah.
So if you can keep doing that, that would be great. Just
if 7 of you can watch 100 hours of her streams, that would make all the difference.
Yeah, it's like, maybe choose one of the longer streams or something. If there's a play all option, hit the play all. That would be so helpful. So thank you guys for that.
If she could get monetized, that would help us incredibly.
Yes, and keep in mind that once I become monetized, that's when I'm going to have the drawing for that special Tom Conkle Blu-ray.
Trouble is Our Business.
Trouble is Our Business that he autographed. So it's an autographed copy of Trouble is My Business on Blu-ray. So that's going to be my big giveaway for getting monetized. And he's also going to be a guest on my channel at that time. I'm really looking forward to it. So sooner I get monetized, the sooner you guys get gifts. Because we skipped over a whole bunch when I went from like 500 to 1,000, like almost
she
overnight.
Grew real quick and then stagnated. So help us out, guys.
Yeah. And with that said, of course, thank you, like I said again, for being here and all this. And as I always say, good night and God bless. And we will definitely see you on the next one, which is tomorrow night over on Big Al Stream.
Absolutely.
For Suddenly Seymour
standing beside you. So thank you guys so much. Super appreciate everything you do. Everything you do encourages us. You hit the like, you hit the subscribe, you share out the streams, you drop a comment, super chats, super stickers, memberships is just friggin' above and beyond. That makes you a producer of the show. It really does. And that means something. We will absolutely reach out to you and ask for your opinions about coming streams, what you think. Dropping the buckaroos gives you some input into what happens with the show, and that's how it should be. It's a partnership, and I super appreciate that. So, guys, thank you, every single one of you, for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for agreeing and disagreeing in a respectful and fun way. I enjoyed the conversation tonight. I hope you did too. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.